was Jurassic Park 3 where the series I felt went. And that's because they killed the T-Rex, the Spinosaur. The director was on there and he said the only reason he did it was to, we need a bigger thing. A bit like the Megalodon, right? We need a better, bigger thing.
People are getting bored of the T-Rex.
Yeah, we need something to kill it. And I was like, you arse. And I went in the cinema when I watched that. I remember when that fight happened, I was so invested that when it ended, I didn't realize I stood up. I just caught myself like unbelievable.
You were like, this is impossible.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm your host for today, guys. Joining me once again are the boys, and today we have a very special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes. Hello. I am the Gaming Beaver. But I do have a real name, James.
Yes, which we will be referring to you as for the rest of the
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Hello, Gaming Beaver. How are you doing today?
It'd be weird to start calling you the Gaming Beaver every time we hang out now.
Yes, very strange.
But you, my good sir, are a dinosaur expert.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I would never say that.
I'm referring to you as the dinosaur expert.
The same way that people refer to me as the anime expert, even though I am, from other people's perspective, maybe, but I would not call myself an anime expert at all.
You're like the Gotham chess of anime. He's like a master. But he's not like a grandmaster. But he's like the guy.
Yeah.
He's like the guy.
I'm just a guy
International master.
who partakes in anime every so often, and so we've had a lot of different guests on for a lot of streamers, YouTubers, for a lot of different subjects. This is the first time we've had a dinosaur themed, I guess, YouTuber.
Exciting.
Yeah. And first question is, I don't think I've ever asked you this anytime we've hung out, because you are part of the extended Geeks Plus family.
Yes.
Why dinosaurs?
Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Dinosaurs are pretty fucking cool.
Huh?
They are.
They are.
Objectively
They
cool.
are.
There comes a point, I think we all like dinosaurs as a kid.
Yeah.
And then you branch off.
Yeah.
But it always starts there, and then people forget like how cool dinosaurs are.
Yeah.
And it was in 2015 when Jurassic World came. I was like, oh yeah, dinosaurs are cool. I remember that. and that's when I got my sort of big breakthrough. Then was when I was covering Jurassic World the game, and from there it sort of
because you've actually been on YouTube for about as long as I have, haven't you?
in loads of different channels.
Loads of different channels.
Yeah.
What was your very first upload? Because I think you might have uploaded even before I did.
Oh God! Well, I know that what was it, AMVs?
Yeah.
You used to do. I did that for dinosaurs.
Wait,
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, they were just like
Dinosaur music videos?
Yeah. Well,
Hell
What,
yeah.
you would just like have cuts of dinosaurs like music?
So
fair enough.
what
yeah.
you would do is you would Google like T-Rex, and then you would save all the images and put them in Windows Movie Maker, and then put 3 Days Grace, Animal I Have Become.
Let's go.
That's the one you would do. And I call it T-Rex Tribute. And then I did Triceratops Tribute.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Wait, so, okay.
That's sick.
That's fucking amazing. I did not know that was a thing.
If you type it in, it should be, because my account was called T091, because I made it accidentally. Because it gave you, back then, you did just need a username.
Yeah.
And it gave you an example. And I went, oh, T091. There you go. I went,
There you go.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Indestructible.
No, that's not it.
Wait,
That's not it.
you.
It's,
Damn.
it should
Is
be
it still up?
a T-Rex Tribute.
T-Rex
Yeah, if
Tribute.
you type it T-Rex Tribute, it should be up there. I remember it's the Turok screenshot.
T-Rex tribute zombie. Is this an entire community?
why is
Yeah,
this
you're
so-
finding a whole genre.
Wait, why is there so many videos called T-Rex Tribute?
And none of
T-Rex
them are
tribute.
mine.
Wait.
Wait, so tribute is like music? Like you're making like a tribute to the thing with musical...
It's literally just a slideshow. Like you would just go in transitions back in the day, and it was just when something would come up.
Okay, yeah, why
Put
not?
in an
Yeah.
image.
Is this kind of like the equivalent of, back in the day when people would always do like COD montages? You would do that just for like dinosaurs?
The T-Rex montage.
Yeah,
the T-Rex
I guess
montage?
so.
Jurassic Park T-Rex music video, 16 million views.
Oh my God.
7 years ago. That's
That's
17.
17 years
Mine's
ago.
18. Mine's 18 years ago. So I think mine was like maybe around about the same amount of views.
What?
I'm surprised that it's not even coming. I'd be blacklisted. My other channel's been
You've been shadow banned.
You got like 15 million
T-Rex
views.
Tribute. I don't know. Type in a Gaming Beaver or something like that.
Does it come up?
3 Days Grace, T-Rex tribute.
There's so many of them.
Wow, they're
And they're all got like stupid amounts of views.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because back then, I don't know, there wasn't much content on YouTube, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You just watch the same dinosaur video on loop. I mean, like,
Hell yeah.
so obviously you wanted to make a dinosaur tribute, right? Like, how old were you when you wanted to make this?
I mean, what was that? If it was 18 years ago when I made it, I must have been like 14, 15, something like that.
So I presumably, 14, 15, maybe everyone else has moved on from dinosaurs. What
Yeah.
kept you like sticking around and enjoying dinosaurs so much? So to the extent where you wanted to make like a tribute.
I think it's because I saw other people do it and I was like, oh. Because I think even in the description I'll say, why can't I have a go? Because I was like, yeah, I could do this.
You watch them and you're like, yeah, they're good, but I can make one better.
Exactly. It was like, no, you should put that image in that like hit of the
Sequencing
music.
was actually kind of whack. I can do it a lot better.
Because like I can't remember for me because I think we were all into dinosaurs at one age, right?
Of course.
At what age did it like taper off for you? I'm trying to remember.
The moment I found out they were gone.
What?
When they were no longer around,
They weren't cool enough.
I was like, that's fucked up.
What
man.
do you mean?
Oh, it was tragedy for you.
When you discovered they were all gone?
Well, then, you have toys and you play with the lion toy and you play with the tiger toy and then you see the video of it and then you're like, oh, dinosaur, fucking sick. And then you find out they fucking died. And then you're like,
Bro went to the zoo and was like, where are the dinosaurs? What the fuck?
I think it was not too far off something like that. I felt betrayed. I was like, imagine being a fucking T-Rex and going extinct. What a pussy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I guess they weren't that mighty after all.
How old were you when you had this thought?
I think I must have been like 7 or 8 when I found out they weren't.
I thought you were going to say like 17, 18.
7 or 8. That's pretty late.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't. Wait, do you guys actually remember things before 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
I have a story of in kindergarten, so I must have been 4 or 5 years old when you're in kindergarten?
Yeah,
around that age, right? And you know how every kindergarten class has that group assignment, which is like, okay, children, you have to write down, what you want to become when you're older, and then, draw a picture of you when, in doing that job and why you want to be all of that. And, you're 4 or 5 years old. Most people are like, I want to be a policeman or I want to be a firefighter. I impressed the shit out of my teacher when I was like, dog, I want to be a paleontologist.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. I want to dig up dinosaur bones.
Yeah, it's like, I want to be a paleontologist. And the teacher was like, where did you learn that word, first of all?
How old are you?
I was like 4 or 5.
Kindergarten.
I think I was still like shitting my pants.
I was writing down perfectly paleontologist, perfect spelling as I was shitting my pants.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember anything before like age 8.
Really?
No, I've.
What's your earliest memory then?
I think we had talked.
Did you talk about that?
We
what was
briefly
my
talked
earliest
about
memory?
this.
I don't know actually. I don't remember.
Connor's
Ball
brain.
pit. I was in a ball pit.
Oh,
I remember being in a
okay.
ball pit and feel like I was drowning in the balls.
Yeah.
Classic.
Classic.
Because I'll tell you my very first exposure to dinosaurs. It was, I'm pretty sure I had this childhood phase where I was obsessed with The Land Before Time.
Oh,
hell
yeah.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
so
yeah. Remember
tragic. Oh, I love it. Have you seen all 11 or 13 of them? No. You haven't seen The Big Water or Soul
James
Rock?
like, I'm 16 steps ahead of you.
There are 11 of them. I think I remember 3, and which I don't like my
His
VHS.
dad appears.
No
He finds
way!
his dad.
No,
Yeah, it's voiced by Kiefer Sutherland.
oh my god, what am I missing?
The Land Before Time lore is crazy.
Yeah, no, it was like the big promotional thing was like voiced by Kiefer Sutherland. Littlefoot's
damn.
dad.
Yeah, I think I only
Was this like during like peak 24 or something?
Oh God, I don't even know.
I only remember watching the first one.
I've never seen The Land Before Time.
Really?
Mine's the Oatmeal Latte.
You've never seen the first one?
I've never seen any of them.
Oh, you have to watch the first one. The first one is so well
one's
done.
good.
Don
Yeah.
Bluth, Steven Spielberg, beautiful story.
Oh wow.
And then after that, they become kids.
Right.
But the
okay.
second one's got good songs. Eggs
Okay.
is the best song in the world. I love that
Yeah.
one. But then it's all like there's musicals and
Yeah, and then
Right.
then they're definitely more tapers towards like kid friendly stuff. But
Yeah.
I remember the first one being like a kind of like the Lion King of dinosaurs
Yeah.
in my
Oh
eyes.
yeah.
The first one
Yeah.
was like the kids will enjoy it, but also the parents watching with the kids are like, okay, this movie's kind of fire.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Like the animation was amazing.
Oh,
as
so
well.
Yeah.
good, yeah.
So freaking good.
And then, of course, I think the next thing, I mean, Jurassic Park just made everyone obsessed with dinosaurs for like the longest time.
Man, I wish I got into dinosaurs. I feel like I missed out. I never really liked
You could
them.
be in this position.
I
You
could
could be the dinosaur.
I could be the dinosaur guy.
You never had that phase?
I don't think I ever had a phase where I was really into dinosaurs.
Really?
No. Even as a kid, I think I always thought like fucking aliens or some shit were cooler.
Maybe.
Really? Well, I was going to say, they definitely don't exist. But I'm saying, at least dinosaurs we know exist.
I know.
you know?
But then, like, obviously learning more about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I think the closest I got to it was like Spore. I was like,
Oh, right,
I
okay.
made a
Okay.
dinosaur.
You made a dinosaur alien in
And then I was like, hold on, dinosaurs kind of cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
My dinosaur's kind of fire.
I mean, Jurassic World, obviously, Jurassic Park is obviously like really fucking good. And
Yeah.
obviously, you'd watch that as a kid. And I feel like that was probably a lot of people's gateway into maybe liking dinosaurs past the normal age.
I don't know, because you are
Normal age.
Well, I guess not normal, but
Well, you are-
expected age, I suppose.
you are the first guy, I think, who didn't have a phase of dinosaurs. Because literally, I was going to ask you this, because Sydney asked me this question the other day, and she's like, why does every boy like dinosaurs? Why is it
No,
like...
I like dinosaurs. I just never had a phase where they
It's-
were my
They
priority.
consumed.
Yeah.
It's the same idea as why does every boy regardless of age when they see like a plastic sword are just like I gotta swing that shit around.
Yeah.
There's like an innate thing in all boys'
I think
brains where they're like I like this thing no matter how
I think
old
it's
I
more
am.
akin to finding like the perfect stick in the
Yeah.
wild. I think that's
yeah.
something that all guys just
Like I don't
love.
have to pick
Yeah.
it up, but I'm going to. You know?
But it'd be a waste.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
finding a rock that's like perfectly round.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
And then finding a
oh.
body of water being like,
That shit's hard programmed.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of that.
Maybe it's an
Yeah.
appreciation. Because
think
dinosaurs
so.
were so long ago and they
Yeah, I think
evolved
so.
so
I
perfectly.
mean, I that's not me saying like, hey, they're fucking lame. I don't care about this. Just I didn't have a face. And I wish I did because I feel like
Is that why you brought me on here?
it's an intervention.
Dinosaurs aren't cool.
Yeah, and I already insulted you. I said you have to move on from dinosaurs. You have to grow up. Like
Connor's like, I was 7 when I moved on to dinosaurs. What are you doing, by the way?
I had already filed my taxes at age 9, and you were
made
there
my first-
floundering around with your pterodactyls.
I made my first $1 million.
Generational wealth was accumulated by age 5. Okay. 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 So I'm curious, right? As a dinosaur fiend, dinosaur lover, there must be some things where people say about dinosaurs, like common misconceptions or any kind of like that, where you're like,
yeah, these fucking
fucking say that
uncultured
about
peasants.
my pterodactyl.
I think if you're really into the,
You're just happy.
if
to
you're a
talk about it.
dinosaur, I would say I'm like the
Would
average
you
Joe.
would you call yourself a dinosaur otaku? That's shit.
Is it to that level?
Is it to that level?
I'd say connoisseur. I like that. I partake in the dinosaurs every now and again. But I wouldn't say that I'm up to date on the latest, finds and stuff.
Right,
If it's
right,
in the
right.
headlines, I'll read it, but I'm not keeping up with papers.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
Yeah.
right.
But I mean, that
But you
fascinating
know, like, would you say you know more than the average when it comes to
creatures.
dinosaurs?
I would be doing a disservice if I said
Oh,
no.
for sure,
I wouldn't. No. Nothing at all. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Because if you say you're good at something, then there's always someone who's like, okay.
Yeah,
and then
of
they'll
course.
bam.
Right, of course.
And that's
I've-
the internet. It humbles you.
Yeah,
a lot.
I can imagine that pressure as well, because especially in, I guess, like the whole dinosaur community, where this is very much has a crossover with the scientific community. So you definitely
Yeah.
don't want to get like facts wrong in that community. Whereas for us, I say a shit anime take, and people are just like,
Yeah.
"What a fucking idiot!" You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many funny things because to keep up to date, I mean, that's all well and good, but then there's always new discoveries which completely change. Like the Spinosaur and like Jurassic Park 3 was on 2 legs and then it became on 4 legs. And because the only one we ever had, like a complete fossil, was destroyed during World War II.
Oh,
So
Spinosaur?
Spinosaurus.
Can we see what this?
Can we see?
Spinosaurus.
We're going to be doing
Yeah.
a lot
That's
of
what a
looking
cool
them up.
fucking name. As it has a long spine.
Yes.
Okay.
It has a big spine.
Spinosaurus.
Now, okay,
this-
so the one on the left is from, it's outdated now because that was when we thought it walked on 2 legs. Whereas
Okay.
now it's more crocodilian with a long rudder tail.
Right.
But there's been so many changes in Spinosaurus these days that if you type in Spinosaurus, like with an F, you'll find what people are like, this is what we've discovered so far, this is what it could look like. And it's kind of like,
Spinosaurus.
yeah, Spinosaurus. It's like, well, we only have like 3 bones.
That's
so
completely
like,
different.
Oh my
there's
God.
only like 3 bones?
well, there's no, I don't know exactly
Right,
how
yeah.
many, but there's not that many. So people made a meme
Right,
of
right.
like making this creature a thing. Like, we have no idea what it looks like. Look, it could look like this. So, I mean, yeah, you can see down there, there's some bones that are found, and somebody's made a reconstruction of that. So it's like, oh, well, for all we know, it could look like that and have like no legs.
Oh.
So obviously it doesn't because it's got a pelvic bone.
Yeah.
So the fossil was destroyed in World War II?
Yes, it was bombed in Berlin.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Unfortunately, so we've lost amazing scientific discovery there. But I mean, it could still be out there. It's just
Yeah,
finding
found
it.
it,
What's,
yeah.
what's your take on like what dinosaurs look like in terms of like their color, and, like muscle mass, right?
I thought we were gonna go the feathers way. It's
Yeah,
like,
the
oh,
feathers.
it's
I was
a
gonna-
turkey can't be fly scary.
I was going to ask about the feather thing too, because I heard that they had feathers.
Some did. Some avian dinosaurs definitely did.
Well, birds are just modern day
Yes.
dinosaurs, right?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
you heard about Jack Horner and the Chickenosaurus that he was
No.
making.
No.
Oh, this might fascinate you guys.
Why?
So Jack Horner he's a very controversial figure in the paleontologist world.
Yeah.
He is a paleontology guy. He assisted on Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3 as supervisor.
Okay.
right?
And he's one of the main reasons why the raptors are the way they are, why they don't stick out their tongues like they were going to originally.
Okay.
Right.
Because they found they're more bird-like. But he's tried so many ways to do what Jurassic Park did, to take amber or DNA out of the amber or bone, by grinding it up and stuff. But it perishes too quickly. Even with the lab at the dig site, he can't
Right.
get it out quick enough to get a genome or anything.
Okay.
So he decided to do the next best thing, which is to go to chickens
Right.
and reverse the evolutionary process. Because during development, different chromosomes or genes turn on and off
Yeah.
in your development. And all the stuff like teeth and tails are there in a chicken's genome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about turning them on and turning which ones off. So when he gets an embryo to a certain state where he can see it's got a tail, it's getting teeth, and it's right, then he'll terminate that. But which is an ethics thing, because then you're making a whole
Yeah,
new
you're playing
creature.
God now at that
Yes.
point, right? Yeah.
So my theory is he's definitely got a ranch somewhere with loads of these half chicken. Because he said at one point, like he found out how
It's
to
like
turn
some
the
Full Metal Alchemist.
yeah, definitely.
Who's funding this?
Oh, George Lucas.
George Lucas is funding it?
I'm not even joking.
What?
like a meme.
What?
No, it's true.
It's like a creepypasta.
Type it. I mean, everyone can search it. Chickenosaurus.
George Lucas?
George
I was
Chickensaurus?
wondering what
Wow.
George is getting up to with his royalties from Star Wars.
Wait, I just want to make a dinosaur.
So he found out how to turn the tail on, but didn't know how to make it stop growing.
Right.
Wow.
So, and then he found out how to get the teeth, but then there was no enamel on the teeth, so they wouldn't be protected.
So he
and they'd
basically
rot.
made a chicken embryo with a huge dinosaur-like tail.
Well,
essentially.
yeah, basically, it would just keep on going. Obviously, there's no pictures exist
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're getting into some weird territory,
Yeah,
genetic things. But
For
he's,
sure.
it's just one of those things with the modern day technology that were,
God,
they
that's
are
scary, isn't
there.
it?
But
Yeah.
like you circling it back to feathered dinosaurs, yes, some
wow.
did, some didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's the mainstream audience see dinosaurs as Jurassic Park.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
scaly boys.
The scaly boys
Yeah.
with the shrink wrapped heads with
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the things.
Shrink wrap.
Well, if you look at a skeleton of a hippo,
Yeah.
it's got these giant bones that stick out, which are the hinges for the jaw muscles.
Right.
So if you were to recreate that, you might, well, it didn't have this big fatty tissue because that all rots away
Right.
in,
Yeah.
in the fossilization process. So when we look at dinosaurs, if you look at the skulls, it's kind of like how you see them in the movies, just shrink wrapped.
Yeah.
So we
Right.
don't know for meat, how much thickness they had in
Right.
certain areas and stuff like that.
That's,
Yeah, I've always heard of the hippo and like dinosaur comparison of like, you just don't know because the skeleton of the hippo doesn't look like a hippo.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Can we see the skeleton?
We're
Yeah.
gonna see the skeleton of the hippo. Hippo and dinosaur. You just have to type in hippo. Yeah,
just
so
type
that's a hippo skeleton.
Yeah, the
you
hippo-
see
the
that
hippo
giant
skull's
jaw?
crazy,
Whoa,
So
that's sick.
that's where the muscles would sit in the jaw.
Right,
there.
right.
But if you
okay.
just, you found that, you'd be like, whoa, this thing looked crazy.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
would
a
think it's like
dinosaur.
kind of like a bowl or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it's, it's all this, curved shapes and around the head
What a
and
head.
such.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
You just don't know how much meat is around everything.
Oh, I'm sure there's some people out there because paleontology is the study of rock, basically.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there's people who would know exactly which bit. Well, that looks a bit more like that, and you can reconstruct.
That's
that
one
way,
thing
but-
that's always blown me away about like watching like paleontologists, actually go out and dig for fossils. Like I've seen some footage where like a paleontologist is, I think they're in like Death Valley or one of like the main big
somewhere in
deserts
Utah, probably,
somewhere
yeah.
in Utah. And then they're just sifting through these rocks, and then he's like, "Oh, I found a good one, guys," and they pick it up. I'm like, "Dog, that's a rock." Like what makes it's crazy how paleontologists can take one look at a rock and being like, "That's either a rock or that is a fossil of a 500 million year old creature."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just know like that.
Yeah,
It's just always fascinated me of like, how do they spot that shit? Because again, like if I was there, I'd probably be kicking some rocks around, not knowing that one of those is probably a fossil.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So that was the point where I was like, yeah, maybe paleontology isn't for me.
Yeah. When you find out,
Yeah, I gave up on that dream.
when realism sets in and it's looking at rocks,
It's like, oh, this is what I have to do like 12 hours a day. It's like, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
you thought you were going to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like I thought as well. Like,
Yeah.
I see a
You'd
dinosaur.
go to like the natural museum, history museums and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
see the completed, skeletons of like stegosauruses and triceratops, and you're like, whoa. Like in my head, I was just like, I go out into a desert, I take my little shovel and I dig up an
there's a
entire
skeleton
triceratops. It's like, there it is. I thought it was like in fucking Animal Crossing, when you dig up the fossils. I thought it was like that.
This episode is sponsored by Shopify. Guys, I have an issue.
What's up?
Like, I have this idea for a business where I just want to sell stuff, man.
Okay.
But I just don't know where to start. If only someone would tell me how I could fix my problem today.
I think he knows how.
Go on, let me tell you about Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the number one checkout on the planet and the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between, because businesses that sell more sell on Shopify.
So upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Nonsense uses. So sign up for your $1 per month trial period
$1.
at shopify.com/trash, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/trash to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/trash. Back to the episode. It's kind of sad we don't have any fucking big animal anymore.
True.
I don't got any fucking monsters.
We have the blue whale.
That's the biggest
whale.
creature that's ever existed.
But that's like a sea creature.
But we don't
you
get to
know?
see it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
disqualified then.
Yeah.
Because even if I was in the water, I wouldn't be able to like see it. I would just be like, I'd be too close or too far. And I
Yeah,
can't-
you'd have to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
to see
yeah.
it all, and you
Because
wouldn't- yeah.
I think a lot of it is just something about just a kid that dinosaurs just like tickle the imagination. Because I remember going to the Natural History Museum as well and seeing like the skeleton of like a T-Rex or a dinosaur and just being like, wow, animals are this big and they were that big.
It just gets like the kid imagination rolling, just looking at
Yeah.
this giant thing and being like, wow, that thing used to exist.
Yes.
And that's scary.
It's great.
It's so
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
God damn.
I think that's like you said, why as a kid it does spark. Because then you can be like, you can make your own.
Yeah.
And which is how Jurassic World came out. It's like hybrids. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. And it's like, kids are like, I want to make my own hybrid. Put a T-Rex in space.
Is there, in your opinion, what can be considered as like the basic bitch dinosaur to like?
T-Rex.
So is it a red flag if someone's like, my favorite dinosaur is the T-Rex?
No, I wouldn't just say a red flag. I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But
Okay, your entry level. Okay,
yeah.
It's like saying your favorite anime is like One Piece. You know, where you're like,
I suppose.
okay.
You only like it because it's popular.
but I would never put somebody down for it.
No,
you know?
No, I don't mean like that. But
Yeah.
in the back of your head, you're just like, normie.
Do you have a favorite dinosaur then?
Oh, is this
Yeah,
is this faux pas to ask?
No,
the
no,
dinosaur
of course
YouTuber?
not.
Do you
Of
have
course
one
not.
definitive one?
Yeah, Parasaurolophus. It's
What?
Wait,
What the
which
what?
one is it?
it's the what? It's a well, I was gonna say
up,
it's
how
a
about
hadrosaur, but you know it's a
Our
hadrosaur.
producer
yeah.
is just like
think
panicking.
I
We're
like
like,
that.
how do I spell that?
Parasaurolophus.
That one?
That's the one. Yes.
Whoa.
But that's
Oh, this
AI
guy.
generated, which is unfortunate. That's happening on the internet at the moment.
yeah.
But yeah, it's the docile one. It has like it can make noises through its head, its crest. But I played a game called Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, where you can make your own Jurassic Park.
Right.
And I remember making a herd of them and just watching them all walk together. I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing. It's that brain of like the guy brain. It's like loads of things all looking the same. That looks so cool.
I have an army of them.
Yeah, an army,
That's
exactly.
cool. They have the whole skeleton too.
Yeah.
That's sick. Herbivore, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you a
100%.
herbivore guy or a carnivore guy?
More carnivore, but again, my favorite is just that. I think it's
Yeah.
nostalgia. It's nostalgia
I thought
reason.
most dinosaurs were herbivore. Am I wrong? I don't know why I thought that.
I don't know about
No.
the overall species.
Right.
But I mean, there's
I mean, a lot of the famous, like, Stegosaurus, Triceratops,
yeah.
they were all herbivores, right?
Yeah.
oh, you well,
Supposedly.
of course. Yeah,
Oh, there you
right.
go.
Most
Most were plant eaters.
We're plant
Yeah.
eaters. Yeah.
I feel like this is just like normal, right? Like most chains of biological species is mostly.
It would have to be,
Yeah.
right? If there's more carnivores,
Yeah,
then
makes
they would just eat
sense,
each
yeah.
other at that
I mean,
point.
it-
Be cannibals.
It's just the energy reserve of the world, right?
So how did you decide this is your favorite?
Oh, well, I told you that I played that Jurassic Park Operation
that's
Genesis.
the one that made it your favorite.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought- okay.
Like there was an old game, and it was.
It looks like a hammer.
Yeah, it didn't use it for combat though.
No,
Maybe it did. Maybe it did. Just impale somebody like a. There
You,
you
you
go.
can hook itself onto the trees.
Yeah, that's how it got away from carnivores.
Yeah.
It jumped and just hung there and stayed still. Its vision's based on movement.
So like after being like into the dinosaur world for so long, has it ever like changed how you view films like the original Jurassic Park, for example?
Well, it changed how people view me, definitely. Because then you become
really?
the dinosaur guy. I remember.
Everyone does refer to you as the dinosaur guy.
Yeah, I suppose.
I actually
yeah.
felt so bad because okay, so
Oh,
this
it's
is like,
okay.
This is like a behind the scenes thing, but before James joined Geeks Plus, it was mostly just Trash Taste and our personal channels and Maylin. And Maylin comes to the Trash Taste office one day, and she's just like, "Oh, I might have a new sign for Geeks Plus." And we're like, "Cool, who is it?"
Which anime YouTuber?
Yeah, which anime YouTuber is it? And she's like, "Oh no, he's really into dinosaurs. He's like a dinosaur guy." And we were just like, "What?" And before you joined, we literally referred to you as the dinosaur guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, fair enough.
We didn't know anything about it. We were like, oh, the
anything about
dinosaur guy. And then we were
Yeah.
like, well, man, that's so cool.
And I felt so bad when, because the first time I told you this story. I remember you saying, "Yeah, the kids at school always used to call me the dinosaur guy as well."
I mean, well, it's that or like Chandler from Friends.
Okay.
That's what people say. Oh, so you like Chandler from Friends?
Or the dinosaur. And I just went, "Oh shit, I'm no better."
You've always been the dinosaur guy.
Yeah. Pretty much. Well,
I admire the dedication. I wane in my hobbies occasionally.
Well, I had a point when I was in primary school, so I was about 7 or 8
Yeah.
when I had a girlfriend. I say
Right.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, you go out with
She
me,
was a
yeah, and then you never do
stegosaurus.
anything. Yeah, she was a stegosaurus.
she was real.
She was 80 foot tall. She weighed 5 tons.
She was a hagosaurus.
And I remember one day, because I never thought about how people see how I view dinosaurs. You know?
Right.
Like they saw them the same way I did. And then she said, "Oh, why do you like dinosaurs?" And I listed some things. And she said, "Oh, I think they're scary." And I was like, "Oh." And then I was like, "Wait, does she think I'm scary by liking scary things?" And
Am I a
then,
predator?
and then I sort of just played it down.
Yeah.
So I never put it out there too much. So
just
it's a
like,
closet
me
to
too,
dinosaur.
shorty.
I mean, I feel like that's like the arc of being in school, right? You kind of learn, I'll just pretend I don't like the things I like. And then you're like,
Yeah.
after a while, when you get older, you're like,
No, fuck
gonna-
that.
yeah, I'm just gonna let people know I like what I like.
God.
Yeah.
You just brought back a fucking core memory, man.
Go on.
Oh, yeah?
Oh man, because I feel like talking to you. I feel like I have we have very similar experiences, but I went like the anime route, and you went like the
dinosaur route. Of course.
Because I remember the thing that people were asking me why I hadn't grown out of this thing was specifically Pokemon. It was Pokemon
yes.
Oh yeah, Pokemon going
that was like a massive craze. We went through, it got massive in the UK. People were trading Pokemon cards, and then the trend died off. But I still continued following Pokemon and watching the anime and stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know why. It was like it's always with girls as a boy, right?
Yeah, because you're not cool. If
Yeah, I remember.
Because you meet a girl and you're like, I'll just change everything about myself.
Yeah,
It's fine. I won't hate this.
because I remember it was in class one day, and I took out like a Pokemon pencil case. And some girl like scoffed at me and laughed and like, "You still like Pokemon?" And I'm like, "No,
No.
Like that day, and I threw it out, turned it up, I put it on fire, and I'm like, okay, I have now.
Sorry,
learned-
my cousin's pencil case must have been so bad. Children.
He's two. He's dumb.
Whatever. Don't worry about it. It's not mine.
And I think that just taught me as a kid, okay, never mention anime or cartoons in public ever again. The girls will laugh at you and think you're weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we both grew up in the UK, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, things were faddy for a bit, and then when the fad goes down, it's not cool to like it anymore.
Yeah.
And I had that with Pokemon. Around Gen 2, at the end of Gen 2, it got uncool.
Yeah.
And then you don't talk about it anymore.
Exactly, because
Yeah, if you start talking about Diamond and Pearl to your classmates, they're like,
Oh, yeah, but then you became the
Like,
Pokemon
what?
guy.
I did that, and that's why I ended up with no bitches.
well, I remember like my parents, I can't remember what age it was, maybe like 13, 12. They were like, so Connor, when are you going to stop watching cartoons? And I had like an existential crisis about the fact that like, I thought like,
Damn.
oh, I have to stop watching cartoons. They were like, yeah, we don't mind you watching TV, just watch like real stuff.
Damn, that's fucked up to say.
And I was like, damn, okay. And I remember like sitting there trying to watch fucking, we have a show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah.
Oh,
The show.
God.
I know that.
I remember sitting there trying to care about any of this and like trying to be like interested so that like I would like this and not cartoons. And then eventually it was a losing battle.
Damn, it was the opposite for me. Like I was getting around to like 12, 13, still watching Cartoon Network and stuff, and I was like, man, is it not cool for me to watch these anymore? Like, should I be watching something else? Meanwhile, my dad would barge into the living room being like, out of the way, motherfucker, Samurai Jack's coming on.
Samurai Jack's so fucking good.
It's like, sit your ass down, boy, we're watching Samurai Jack. And I'm like, okay, it's still cool to like. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because it could happen with anything, right?
yeah.
It all
Yeah.
depends on if you've got that good influence. Like I got into video games because of my mum. She'd play like Super Mario World, and
sick.
Yoshi's
Oh,
Island
shit.
and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I would play the games through her and stuff. So.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, because I think I went through so many phases as a kid. I kind of realized Dinosaurs was also one of them. One weird phase I went through as well. I went through a bug phase. And looking back, I swear this must be a fucking
Bug people are weird people.
They are.
I don't like bug people.
I
That's the line.
can't lie. But like something about because the reason I got into them was this must be a fucking ADHD thing or something. But like as a kid, I could just watch ant colonies for like ever.
You'd lift
I mean,
up a rock and just be like, whoa.
Ant colonies are cool.
And like the way that you just as a kid, you're like, how is this so like structured? What? How do they have a system?
They have like expressways.
Yeah, they have expressways and shit like that.
No traffic.
No traffic. And they like be able to like just carry shit like fucking massive things together.
My respect for ants went up after I watched the animated Ants movie.
Oh, ants or was ants not
with
bug
the Z.
Oh yeah.
Ants, I remember
Ants.
the DreamWorks
No,
version of A
DreamWorks
Bug's Life.
Dude, I remember getting like horror nightmares at those things.
I fucking love that movie.
They look scary.
They do look scary.
Oh. And like show the other characters. There's some
Yeah.
real fucking ugly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the big buff one is played by Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Look
I
at him.
remember that.
Fucking hideous.
Yeah, the fourth image there. Yeah, that one. That guy.
Looks like someone
It
dropped
was a good movie though.
Look at that jawline.
Oh
man.
my
Oh
god.
my god, that's Sylvester Stallone as an ant.
Of course.
That's not the guy that loses his head, is it? I remember that in a movie.
No.
in
That's
this
the
movie.
main villain, right?
Is it?
I think so.
It's been so long
been
since
so
I watched
long.
this.
Yeah.
Fuck ants.
Yeah, so I remember
this
going
movie
hate
is
ants.
sick.
I remember going through a phase where I just collected bug magazines. I don't know why.
right.
I was literally that
This
kid
is my
in
first
school.
time learning there's bug magazines.
There is.
What is it like? The latest drop of bugs? Like
It was literally,
I don't know. I've
It was
never-
literally. I think it must be targeted towards children because it was like a very thin magazine. And it was literally called just Bugs, Bugz.
So it has a Z at the end.
Yeah, because it's
That's how you know it's
cool.
targeted towards
Bugs.
that was cool back then.
Everything was
Yes.
Was it
Yes! Oh my god! Oh shit!
I mean, it has an S at the end, but I get your point.
Okay,
looks
not
like
said.
it.
Okay, yeah, it was that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
That's terrifying.
Bugs.
yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why I went through this phase, but
No, I get it though because I also had like an encyclopedia book of insects,
yeah.
and I remember getting into that. I remember I used to like practice drawing with
Oh, right.
that, and
Yeah.
then my mom, I think, or my dad bought me like another encyclopedia full of dinosaurs, and I
Yeah.
remember like when I was first, second, third grade, all I would do is just have this encyclopedia of dinosaurs open, and I would just draw the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And that was the fucking best.
That's like peak kid moment.
It's peak kid moment. And I was like, these are sick as fuck.
no worries in the world.
No.
Draw whatever you wanted to.
Nah.
Just draw the dinosaurs.
Draw the
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs. Bring that back, bro.
But
Yeah.
Didn't everybody have a dinosaur like encyclopedia or species just you'd flick through? Did you? Or was it just?
I had
it could
one,
just
yeah.
be me.
I had one. I had one. Yeah. I had one.
No,
For sure.
I remember it wasn't like an encyclopedia. It was like a. Talking to you is just unlocking so many memories for me. It was like a
You're welcome.
It was like a CD-ROM or something. It was like a CD-ROM game that had dinosaurs in it.
Yes. Was it a museum? Was it?
Yes, I think so.
I had a friend who
like
had that.
Like the Microsoft Dinosaurs.
Yes.
CD-ROM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Like
yeah,
a virtual museum.
it was something like
Kinda
that.
like
Something like that. It was
images.
meant to like teach you about dinosaurs. And I
Yeah.
remember just playing it as a kid.
I think I bought. Well, I didn't buy it. I had it, and I thought it was going to be a
Microsoft
dinosaur
Dinosaurs.
game, but it wasn't. It was just like something
I
like
think
that.
it was
yeah.
that.
I think it was
yeah,
this, yeah.
Holy
This
shit.
this was like there were copies of this at my school. I remember.
You can still buy it, $40.
Oh
yeah.
what? Oh wow! You should have
Yeah,
invested
yeah,
in that.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, an interactive journey into
Yeah.
the world of dinosaurs.
Did we all get the same experience?
I think
Yeah.
every Microsoft must have dealt this out to every school.
Man, I never got this.
Really?
No.
You lived in a
this
place
shit.
where that just dinosaurs were like outlawed.
I guess they didn't fuck with them in Wales.
there was no Welsh dinosaurs.
I guess they were like, fuck dinosaurs. But I hate bugs too, and bugs feel weirdly close to dinosaurs in my head. I don't
think
know
so?
why. Even though I know that they're.
I mean, they've been
Pretty
around
opposite.
older. For
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think
say,
because
it's-
sometimes bugs, you look at them, you're like, what the fuck happened?
Why do you have so many eyes?
But I love that. They're like aliens.
Dude, it's the
so
Yeah.
cool.
It's the fucking deep ocean fucking bugs that freak me
Oh,
out. Have you seen
okay.
those
Wait, wait.
spiders and stuff on the deep ocean floor?
Yeah, I have.
one with
Okay,
the-
okay. Is this just my experience thing? But I'm trying to think because there were a few girls in my school. So the boys are into
Out of
dinosaurs.
the bugs.
There
was bug girl.
So the boys are into dinosaurs, and there were a few girls for some reason who were into sharks.
Oh, I didn't.
Did
have
you know
that.
anyone like that?
Nah, I would have bagged them for sure. and I didn't, so no, they did not exist in my school. If there was,
man.
dude, if I was in like fourth grade, so what, like if I was like 10, 11, and a girl was like, I love sharks, I'm like, you're my wife. Like, I would think you were the coolest girl in the school if that was the case.
There was a horse girl. There was always a horse
Oh,
girl.
okay, the horse
Oh, there's
girl.
always a
Yeah.
horse girl.
Horse
Yeah,
girl.
yeah. There's always a horse girl.
But yeah, sharks is something that is, I guess, I don't know. There's a whole fucking Shark Week thing. I've never been into sharks, so I don't know what the appeal of like just sharks. But
I'm from Australia. We had no choice.
I guess
you
that's
had
true.
to be into sharks purely so that when you go into the ocean, you can protect yourself.
You know what to look out for.
Yeah, that was an educational
Yeah,
thing.
it's like,
you
oh,
know?
no shark, we good, dog.
Well,
Hell yeah.
Megalodon is like the biggest shark that ever existed. And of course, you had the Meg series, which really
Alright, here's-
skyrocketed
here's a
that.
question
Jason
for you.
Statham.
Here's a question for you then. Do you think the Meg exists?
No.
You're 100%
Unequivocally, no.
No?
No, because what's it eating? It had, like you're talking about, Megalodon was a surface predator that ate and feasted on
Wait.
baleen whales. So there would be carcasses or
Right.
whales showing up with massive chomps out of them, and you would see a Megalodon because it would be on the surface. It would be looking down.
It never existed.
It did exist.
Oh wait, what? Really?
Yes.
Did we have like a
Yes.
skeleton of it or anything?
About
Maybe?
was it 2 or 20 million years ago? It's not that long ago.
Yeah.
Megalodons existed. And
I
they-
know they exist, but there's like rumors going around being like they might exist. They're just in the deep
Oh
sea
well, that's
now,
because we
you
always
know, all
want
that
to
shit.
believe
Yeah,
in
of course.
cryptids and
Yeah,
all this
of course.
jazz, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I thought Megalodon was just a made-up creature. I guess Connor did for.
Yeah, I thought,
Yeah,
it,
did you
I, I, thought
think?
it, was- I thought it was
Literally
fake.
Oh,
no,
surely
they
they
were
would
real,
come
they
up
were
with
real.
a crazier design than just a big shark.
Well, honestly, I kind of thought that's typical Hollywood laziness.
Yeah, I suppose.
Shark, but big.
It's relatable. People know.
Because I never watched that movie because it seemed like the peak airplane movie.
It was
and
definitely
I-
a popcorn movie.
And I
100%.
was not willing to give it the time of the day.
Hmm.
I like Jason Statham though, but yeah. Was
Not
it good?
Jason Statham and Shark isn't. No.
Yeah, but it just seemed like one of those movies that was meant to go straight to DVD after that era already went.
Oh, you're talking about like sci-fi. Like
no, you know,
shark octopus versus
they would
giant
always have-
crocodile.
they would have movies that were like just bad. that-
Sharknado.
Yeah, Sharknado.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah.
stuff that was just meant to turn a profit on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean,
not.
Sharknado is pure cinema. I'm just gonna say.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, sure.
Well, it's not just that, but like every time I go to America, and there's always like 10 million Megalodon documentaries.
Yeah.
And I use the term documentary because they give off the same vibe as like the History Channel doing like alien pyramid documentaries, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for the longest time, I was just like, oh, this is kind of like Loch Ness Monster.
A made-up
you know?
thing.
It's kind of like a mythical thing that we don't know if it did or never existed. And it was only recently that I was like, oh, wait. People think there is evidence that this definitely did exist.
Just another reason to fucking hate the ocean.
I think I became aware of Megalodon because at the Sydney Aquarium, they had like a huge shark exhibit, obviously, because we have a lot of sharks, especially off the coast of Sydney. And there was this like, there's this particular area that I remember perfectly where they took all of like the mouth skeletons of each of the different sharks in order of size.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember being, starting off like really, really small, like the Mako shark or whatever. And then it would get up and, you'd think at the end would be the great white, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that's the biggest shark there is right now. And then right next to it, it's just this giant fucking Megalodon one. I
That
was
you
just
could
like,
step into. Yeah.
I can fit inside of that shit. And I was like, yeah, ocean's scary.
Oh yeah.
I hope this thing doesn't exist anymore.
And we as a species existed during the same sort of time.
Yeah.
So your ancestors could have went in the ocean.
I mean,
and-
3.6 million years ago is not that long ago if you think about it.
No. I mean, that's probably at the end stages when they're probably maybe getting a little bit smaller. But
Right.
yeah, like
Why did they go extinct?
we really don't know. But the theory is that they went into decline because whales started going into colder waters and they needed warm waters.
Study from 2022 suggests that competition with great white sharks for food. may
Yes,
also have
and
contributed.
smaller sharks sort of superseded them in the food chain, and unfortunately they just went extinct.
Outplayed.
Yeah.
they did.
Sizes and everything,
Kind of
unfortunately.
skill issue.
Yeah, skill issue.
Actually, just a skill issue there.
But I mean, things in the water during the time of the dinosaurs as well are fascinating.
Oh my
and
God,
way
yeah.
bigger than the T-Rex.
The ocean dinosaurs are
Yeah.
some of my
What are
favorites.
the ocean dinosaurs?
What's
well,
the
you-
one with the fins, the 4 fins?
Oh, you plesiosaurs.
Plesiosaurs.
You got plesiosaurs, pliosaurs, mosasaurs. There was the,
Mosasaurs?
yeah, mosasaur. A mosasaur. That was mosasaurus.
Mosasaurus.
Yeah, plesiosaur is my favorite underwater.
Yes,
dinosaur.
that's one with the long neck. I think
Yeah,
you're thinking
yeah.
about.
These guys are sick.
This is just Subnautica.
Yeah, this is.
Well, I mean, they've got to
This
get
is
their
such a
inspiration
cool
from
dinosaur.
somewhere.
Look at that.
Is that?
That's so cool.
So it would use its neck to get into a shoal of fish and snap them up without the fish sort of realizing. Is the theory that's what it would
what
do.
a fucking terrifying
metal.
creature.
And then mosasaur was, I think, the biggest prehistoric sea creature that existed.
Especially
sort
just that
of
with a
of its
crocodile
time.
mouth. Right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mosasaur was crazy. They got some crazy lengths. Those things.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
I know that
Oh,
there's
look at that
like
thing.
now
That's just a
with-
giant like crocodile
With
almost.
flippers.
Yeah.
with
It's crazy
flippers.
how the whale just managed to just stick around.
Yeah, well, if you type in Basilosaurus or Basilosaurus or something like that, I had a dog called Basil. I'm like, oh, is it Basil? So it's, as Nigel Marvin would say, it's a whale on diet pills. So this is at the time when there wasn't cold. They didn't need blubber to stay warm.
Yeah.
So it was more like a swift sort of. And this was, I think, around about the time with Megalodon as well. But their teeth was way more predatory looking, like massive teeth to crush bone and such.
Oh wow.
Before the baleen whales with the bristles decide to just, outcompete everything.
I mean, look at it in terms of like next to like the orca.
Yeah.
That thing's huge.
Yeah, orcas are huge.
Yeah.
You ever
Yeah.
see one in person?
Fucking hell.
Massive.
Orcas just look a lot less threatening.
They do. They do.
just-
Deceivingly so.
Yeah, that's way too deceivingly like friendly. Look at
Dude,
that.
underwater apex creatures fell off.
I feel sad that my only knowledge of orca is just those shitty SeaWorld documentaries.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
like I've
yeah.
never heard of what the orca, what's its place in the natural
It has no
ecosystem.
natural predators.
Oh no.
What does it do? Just fucking vibe? Does it eat? What does
No,
it eat?
it eats.
It's an apex predator.
yeah.
They
They go for seals, right?
they have
Yeah,
their
sometimes.
own, depending on the pod as well, the family they live in, they have their
Yeah.
own language. And depending on where they are in the world, some only eat fish, some only eat mammals. And they teach each other how to hunt. They'll teach each other how to breach when they're young. So how to grab the seal from the
Yeah.
shoreline. So they teach that with their calves. and
They're
stuff.
like the wolves
So
of the ocean.
They are
almost.
very,
Yeah.
very intelligent, which is
Yeah.
why it's so sad when you see them in,
Yeah.
And there's so many people. I mentioned once about how it's a bad thing to keep orcas and intelligent creatures in captivity. And that's something like, oh, what are you doing? They're well looked after. I'm like, Look at it, man. Look at its box it lives in. You can't tell me it's loving its life.
Boy wants to rip a seal apart, not bounce a ball on its
He wants to flick it with its tail. And that's another thing. They actively do that.
Yeah.
They have fun with their food, which is devastating for the food, but they're having fun.
It just makes you think that if dinosaurs were still around, we would definitely find a way to
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Oh my god, 100%.
I mean, if dinosaurs were still around, it'd just be a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Just a much bigger zoo.
Yeah,
than
huge zoo.
What we have now.
Which is why I never understood the main plot line in Jurassic World was people are bored with dinosaurs now. It's like, it's like everyone stops going to zoos because they're bored of elephants. Like, oh, I've seen that before. I never understood that. I was like, oh. And it's the only place in the world to go see them. And it's like, nah, nobody likes us.
It's like, no.
Nah.
If that exists in real life, it'd be like fucking Universal Studios and Halloween. It'd just be like bank of people.
I always wondered in like the dinosaur community how they felt about, I guess, first of all, Jurassic Park. Was it like unanimous love of the thing, or is it kind of controversial in some circles?
I think Jurassic Park was the dinosaur community's big bang event. I think
Right,
that's where
right.
it started. And then, you never can speak ill of Jurassic Park.
But what about its sequels and how it the modern day Jurassic Park?
Because I didn't watch Jurassic World.
I did. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
You didn't like it? It's just Jurassic Park, but modern.
Yeah, and it was
you have Owen Grady on a motorbike with the raptors, and that was a deleted scene in The Lost World, the sequel to Jurassic Park.
really?
That never got in there, but I will admit that was cool. I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Motorbike with raptors running alongside, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it was Jurassic Park 3 where the series I felt went.
Right.
Yeah, Jurassic Park 2
most
was
people
great.
did.
Yeah.
And that's because they killed the T-Rex with the Spinosaur. And that was all because... Do you remember GMTV?
That's the reason
I
why
remember
you're not
GMTV,
okay.
yeah.
The director, I think Frank Marshall, maybe, I know, it's somewhere different. Anyway, the director was on there and he said the only reason he did it was to... Well, we need a bigger thing. A bit like the Megalodon, right? We need a better, bigger
people
thing.
are getting bored of the T-Rex.
Yeah, we need something to kill it. And I was like, you arse. And I went in the cinema when I watched that. I remember when that fight happened, I was so invested that when it ended, I didn't realize I stood up. I just caught myself like unbelievable.
You were like, this is impossible.
I mean, as a kid, and that happens like T-Rex and a Spinosaur fighting. It's what you want to see. Nowadays, you can Google anything and it'll be there.
It's like scientifically inaccurate.
It's like, Mike, they took down my goats. No way. It's like the dinosaur of like WWE matches,
Yeah, it was. It
when
really
like the champion goes down, you're like, no way.
That was like Marvel Civil War with Jurassic Park 3, and it spawned Spino fanboys, which became a term for like
Spino
fanboys. It became
That
a
sounds
term.
like a spino bifida.
Spino bifidus.
Spino fanboys.
Oh my god. That just makes me wonder. Okay, so
You want to know all the dirt.
no, like in the anime community, we always have like this character would beat this character. In the dinosaur community, is there?
Oh yeah, 100%. I have like a series where I do battle royales and I put all the dinosaurs together and see who wins.
All right, what are the S tier dinosaurs? What is like the Goku of like the
Goku the most powerful.
The most powerful, yes.
Okay, well, as far as apex carnivores go, of course you got T-Rex.
Yeah,
Yes.
T-Rex, of course.
Yeah.
Carcharodontosaurus is another big one.
You're gonna have to repeat that one again.
Imagine a T-Rex, but instead of teeth that were thick and were meant for crushing bone, it was razors.
Right.
So it would like slash its prey. Mapusaurus is another
What
one.
was your third? Cacaosaurus?
Carcharodontosaurus.
Carchara?
It's Latin. It's like great white is Carchara something as well.
Yeah,
It's
right.
about teeth. Then you have Acrocanthosaurus, Spinosaurus, of course.
Isn't there the T-Rex actually that has like actual big arms as well? Like I remember reading this up and
I'm trying to picture that in my head.
Yeah.
So like,
it was I think it was way after the T-Rex. I remember reading it in my dinosaur encyclopedia and being like, why is this one not talked about? This is T-Rex with actual arms.
It might be the
fan
Giganotosaurus.
oh, I'm sorry, a what?
A Giganotosaurus. Like a Giga-Chad.
Giganotosaurus.
Giganotosaurus. Yes, this guy.
Oh yes, this guy. Yeah, this is the guy.
This was the one that was known to be bigger than the T-Rex.
Yes. This is what I remember.
Oh, this is bigger than the T-Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you've got so many different ones. You've got the
So,
new Dominion.
When does this exist? Is this the same time as the
Late
T-Rex?
Cretaceous period, yeah. So, no.
I think that's that's me in the morning. What does that mean? Late Cretaceous period.
So
You know, there's periods in the
Yeah, there's
dinosaurs.
periods.
I know this
Right.
period. I didn't know the names. But
So you have the Triassic, which is when dinosaurs were just getting their foothold, when early mammals were sort of dying out.
okay.
And we hung on throughout millions of years to get to where we are today. As rodents and little
Lovely.
things. We were just like playing the long game while dinosaurs were having their time. So then you had Triassic, then Jurassic, which is known for its giant sauropods and stuff like that. And then Cretaceous. And then each one of these is divided by massive extinction events. Of course, Cretaceous is the asteroid that hit Earth, blocked out the sun, created the Ice Age and everything. Like, so died almost, basically.
What's your favorite period?
Ooh. Probably Cretaceous, just because it's got the best. It's got the
It's the
Triceratops,
highlights.
it's got
It's
the
the
T-Rex.
highlight.
Before they fell off.
Before they were unceremoniously ended by God. The deletion process. Enough of this, you're too peak. Die, reset.
Cretaceous period dinosaurs. It's ironic that a lot of these ones showed up in Jurassic Park, even though it's,
Well, the
that's a-
Cretaceous Park just doesn't have the same
Yeah,
ring, does it?
It won't sell tickets.
Wouldn't we-
Cretaceous
yeah.
Park.
Yeah,
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous Park, no.
Crustaceous
Park.
is ocean animals.
yeah.
I don't-
Cretaceous.
too many words.
I remember I saw a meme ages ago of
Ankylosaurus.
it was one of
Yeah,
those
armored.
Oh, that's the one with the giant ball at
It's
the
got
end,
the
right?
club on its
This
tail.
guy's sick.
Yes.
Yo.
Look at this guy.
Would this be
No, that's
would this be an
Oh, yeah,
S tier
definitely,
in
definitely.
terms of,
I've killed this in Monster
power
Hunter.
rankings?
It's like Rathalos.
Yeah. So completely armored. In fact, one of the amazing fossils found was an intact version of this with its skin and armor. Exactly the way.
Skin?
Yeah, I don't think it was. There it is. There it is. It was a
Whoa.
Borea pelter, I think it was, or something like that. But basically, an ankylosaurid.
How the fuck was that kept so well?
I think because this fossil, when it died, it floated out to the ocean. And of course, it was upside down when it was found.
Right, yeah.
So the theory is that it was floating. Of course, when you die, all of
Belly
the
up.
gases.
Yeah.
And then that popped and it fell down in the silt and it was preserved really well that way. And that's why the back is just almost
That's a
perfect.
fucking-
Like you have textures.
That's a fucking Pokemon, man. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Legitimately.
The amazing thing is to think that someone had to carve that from
Yeah.
the rock and go, oh, that's bone. No, don't go there. A little bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you see the process, it's literally just carving it out exactly the way it is
Right.
without digging into it, because you could
Yeah.
so easily just smash a bit off.
Yeah.
It's
That'd be nerve-wracking.
exactly.
That's the jackpot.
It
Yeah.
sounds very calming though. Can you just imagine your job is just like just
Da-da.
sitting there for like just in silence.
I think
being
they just
like,
got to bring in those
"Yes."
guys that made them the like Renaissance like carvings. Those guys would get it done in 2 minutes.
Probably. Yeah,
They'd be like,
they're long gone.
They'd be like, oh yeah, this will be easy. And they're
Give me
like
my
that.
chisel.
And if only we'd fossilized those guys.
Yeah.
Still have them.
Well,
So I noticed Velociraptors wasn't up in your S tier. Would you say they're overrated?
Okay, Utah Raptors is
Utah Raptors.
basically what they're based on.
Now you're
Never
making
guess
shit-
where that's
Now You're
found.
making shit up. Utah Raptors.
Utah
Yes.
Raptors.
Yes.
Are they Mormon?
No, well, no, but they are. They did live in
Wow, it
Mormon
actually
land.
exists.
Wow.
Utah Raptor.
Yes, at the moment there's a project called the Utah Raptor Project where
Oh, it's feathered.
yes, Jim Kirkland at the moment he's excavating a massive find of them.
Yeah.
These guys were there. It is. These are just there. But he these were the ones like you'd see in Jurassic Park, like that size. Velociraptor
right.
was
Yeah.
about the size of a chicken, and it was feathered.
Oh.
This one did have its plumage as well, and he goes into detail about how it would hunt. Like it could have all these feathers
so
underneath.
cool.
It would
Fuck.
sprawl out, frizzle.
Wait.
scare and everything.
Velociraptors were chicken sized?
Yes.
They were that small?
They lived in Mongolia, I think it was, or where they were found. Sorry,
you could kick
prehistoric
'em.
Mongolia.
I thought they were like the size of like a human.
Yeah. I mean, that's from Jurassic
Utah
Park,
Raptor. Utah
right?
Raptor.
Oh, so
is
it's
that. That's
this.
what these are based on. And,
Fucking cool.
and it was Deinonychus, I think, technically they based it on.
Right.
Which is again a similar size.
My mind has been shattered about Velociraptors.
These, these guys, it's theorized, were probably more successful than T-Rex.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
if you think a pack of these working together with the claws that they could just slash out, jumping onto a collar,
yeah.
they would slice anything up. And then the T-Rex, Jack Horner believes it was 100% a scavenger, never hunted.
Oh,
And it
really?
would probably feast on the leftover carrion of Utah Raptors.
So these guys are like the hyenas, whereas
What's the point of being that big if you
T-Rex
can't
is like
kill
the
anything?
lion.
I don't know.
Just intimidating.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
size intimidating.
very few are probably going to kill it.
I don't believe it was solely a scavenger. I think that's a bit too much for the T-Rex. Of course it can hunt if
Is there like controversial opinions like this in the dinosaur community?
Oh
where
yeah,
certain experts are like that.
again, T-Rex just being so
People are like, no, it can't be.
It can't
my
be.
T-Rex.
No, my best boy.
What are some other hot takes in the dinosaur community that people?
Oh, well, of course, Spino would beat T-Rex in a fight. That's always the ever since Jurassic Park.
I just love how you boiled everything down, no matter what the community.
You have
the
idea.
The hot takes
No
are just,
idea.
I think X can be X, and you're like,
Yeah.
Do you ever get annoyed when you see those like pictures of like, you know, the stock photo pictures of like dinosaurs and they're all there, and then because I remember I saw a meme of like, I think it was like a picture, it was probably like AI generated or something, of a picture of like a T-Rex standing next to a Stegosaurus.
Oh right, it's like they lived in
and all the
completely different
comments are
time
just like,
periods.
Stegosaurus died 90 million years before the T-Rex was around. This is fake.
I probably did when I was a teenager. I was
Yeah.
like, no, it's not right. But now I'm like,
historically inaccurate.
they just don't know what that. I
Yeah.
mean, but you're speaking about the AI stuff. Yeah, that is a big problem now.
Right.
Because when you type in a dinosaur, it happened even then when you did that, an AI generated image came up.
Yeah, right.
And that is, what do we do
Annoying.
about that? You
Yeah.
know.
Right.
I saw the same for like William Shakespeare. An AI image came up when you googled his name.
What, really?
Yeah, some other shit like that where you're like, this is ruining everything.
Well, he's one of the people we don't even know what he looked like. I think.
'cause they
Yeah.
don't know
At
what it
all.
looked like, so there was-
Like that.
Some of them, I think they might have gotten rid of it because people made a big stink about it. But there was a couple for a while where there was like AI images that had popped up.
Right. Of what he might have looked like.
Well, no, it was just like when you typed in his face, it was just like, oh, sorry, we typed William Shakespeare an AI picture.
Right,
Actually, we go
right.
back.
yeah.
That one looks AI. No, maybe
That looks like Madame
I-
Two Swords, I would say.
Yeah.
That looks like
It's
a
hard to tell, man.
recreation.
This is the worst part, right? Is that you
Yeah.
can't fucking
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
which one's which. But there's going to be way too
And you
many.
start second guessing yourself a lot of the time. You're like, I don't want to be a dick and say this is AI. It just gives a feeling of AI. But
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, then I feel like a dick. You
I
Yeah,
feel like it's going to
yeah.
get to the point where you, instead of having to mark what's AI, we're going to have to mark like what's real.
What's real
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, all right, real, like a little symbol on it to be like, this is a real.
Certified.
Yeah,
Certified
it's like
real.
Certified real.
Well, I guess that's where signatures come in, I guess, in art right now.
But they
Now
come
you
back,
need
they come
that.
back, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
For real.
Yeah, I
then you
mean,
know
I
it's real.
I think there should be some kind of like digital footprint on like a piece when an AI generates a piece of media to be able to identify that this is an AI generated piece of media. Don't know how you do that, but someone's got to figure this shit out. I think.
I remember you mentioning something to me, and I think you were going to tell me the story, but I think it didn't happen for some reason, where you had bought some car.
Oh.
Is this, are we allowed to talk about
Oh,
this?
do we do this?
We can- we can
I
move it, we
did
can
think
move
about talking about this
We
in the
can
video.
cut it if you don't want to talk
No,
about
no, completely fine. The guy's been arrested, which is great.
Wait, what?
So,
I didn't even know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that you had a story with a car
Yeah.
from Jurassic Park.
so
You can't start a story like that.
the guy's in jail, so which is really good. But anyway, yes, to even get there, we're cutting to the end. It's like an anime, you know.
Yeah.
At the end already. How did we get here?
3 days earlier.
Well, yeah, because I
was a hell of a
remember you like exclaiming. You were like, you were going to tell me the story, and it sounded like a lot. But then I think for some reason I had to go, or you had to go, or
Yeah.
something. Where yeah.
It needs its time.
right.
Okay.
You wanna talk
so
about it?
yeah,
well, we got
basically-
time.
We got time. So, of course, I'm a fan of Jurassic Park. I had the toys growing up.
Yep.
What do you do when you're an adult? You have the real thing. So, I bought a Ford Explorer, the right, I think Mark 1 or something. Had it
Yeah.
imported from somewhere in America, Savannah. That was it. I remember that. And then had it.
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia.
God bless.
Because there's no ocean there. I think it's just all no
Yeah,
rust.
right.
So I had it all done, painted and everything, so it looked exactly like the ones in the movie. And it had the paint job, and I was going to do the
The
interior.
Jurassic Park one. like, you know.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
My phone, and I also have the Jeep as well, the Jeep Wrangler, where they see the brachiosaur.
Oh, nice.
That one as well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I had it this, but the difference was I didn't have the bubble roof.
Right.
Because of course that's like a whole thing. You have to cut
Yeah.
a hole in the roof and
Yeah.
everything.
fucking
That's a
sick,
custom
though.
job.
So yeah, I had this, and
You
then
did this?
yeah, I do have this.
Why? Yes, I want to see
I'll
this.
show you
Oh
a
my
video.
God.
But yeah, I mean that's
Oh
that's
my
it there.
God.
So it has the bubble roof on.
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
And
that's
everything.
sick.
That's so cool.
This
Hell
must
yeah.
have been like A dream come true.
Oh yeah,
This is like
That's
this is
so sick.
This is like a
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo fan buying the mystery
yeah, that's
machine.
it. So it's not.
Yo!
Not only did I.
So you like going around the UK driving that thing? You
Yeah.
must have
Hell
been- everyone
yeah.
must have been like,
So
yo.
I do have the Jeep as well.
Oh my god.
You got both?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bro's got adult money.
I'm like my inner kid is coming out, man.
Yeah.
Just looking at all
So
that.
I did the interior as well. So it has it doesn't have the speedometer and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has so yeah, I have that Jeep as well.
That's so sick.
so cool. Yeah. But yeah, so I tried to get it like screen accurate. So I had the seats redone, reupholstered. So
Yeah.
there's no headrest.
Oh, right,
Because
right, right.
obviously when you're looking around at a tour vehicle, you want to see all the
Yeah, yeah,
dinosaurs.
yeah.
You don't want a headrest blocking you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how legal it is. But yeah, so it's got the consoles in. There's a little Apple, like Mac in there as well, which plays
yeah.
the tour program that the fans have made. There's a Jurassic Park
Yo.
motor pool.
Oh my
Shout out to
shit.
my guys at Jurassic Park Motor Pool who put together the tour program and put all the paint codes and everything for the
That's
colors
so
and stuff.
sick.
Yeah, but it gets a bit dodgy when, before I had the bubble roof on and everything,
Yeah.
I had a guy message me and said, "Oh, I do all these American cars. If you want any work done, message me." I was like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got an Explorer." It's like, "Oh, yeah, I can easily do the bubble roof. Pass it to me."
Yeah.
Months later, he keeps on invoicing me for things like that, and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
So
sure."
you gave him the car and
So I sent the car off to him. I'm very naive. I am no longer this gullible, and he sends me invoices, and it goes on a bit too long. I'm like, I haven't seen my car in ages. Long story short, when I start asking for my car back, he's like, "No, not gonna do it. Send me the money." What? Send me the money. And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Right, well, under the tort law, if you're not gonna pay me, I can legally have your car."
What?
Oh, so his plan from the start was to invoice you a bunch of fraudulent
Yeah.
invoices.
Yes.
So then he
For
could claim
work
to
that
keep the
was
car.
never done.
Right.
And then he was taking my car to shows in the UK
What?
and advertising his business.
What?
That's fucked up.
And then I was like calling the police. I was like, and they were like, "Oh, we're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Do you know where it is?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
So I had to get in touch with private investigators
Holy shit.
to track down this guy.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like they were like, "Oh, we found him," but then they followed him a couple of days, never found the car.
Right.
Even tracked his car, which is legal in the UK. You can't track cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually, I managed to find through someone that he was actually taking it somewhere else to get work done. Eventually, I think that he'd caught up to him, and he told them to be like, "Just put a hole in it, put a hole in the roof, so it looks like he was doing it."
Right,
But
right.
luckily, I got to that company first, and I documented the whole process because I was like, "This could be a Netflix
Yeah,
documentary." I was like, "Where's my car?"
Yeah.
That's the thing, because I was ringing all these people, and eventually I got to the guy, and the relief I had, I was like, he was like, "Oh, you're the owner of the Explorer." I was like, "Yes." Oh, thank God. And eventually he like turned up, the guy who was doing all this, he turned up to that place with the ready to take it. And the guy wouldn't release it to him, fortunately.
Oh, thank God.
And that's how I got the car back. But it was this whole, and it ended up he was like taking old American cars, selling them. They were charity things.
Right.
And he was pocketing all the money.
Oh my God.
He was the lowest of the low, dude. And
Scumbag.
and then eventually, like not too long ago, I found out he got done because he actually self-reported himself to the police.
Oh,
What?
Trying to get somebody else arrested.
What?
But anyway, and now I got the car and it's like, oh God, the stuff I went through for this thing.
Good riddance.
So yeah.
Wow.
Holy fuck. So that was one expensive car.
Oh yes, yes it was.
Dude, you should make a video about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That whole
Well,
document process sounds
I
awesome.
documented the whole process.
Yeah, sounds
Like
awesome.
even him on the phone and stuff. I was like,
Dude,
you know,
the
it
drama.
was-
Think
Yeah.
about it. That's
That's
an
That's a
amazing
video
story.
waiting to happen.
That's
right?
Maybe
a
one
really
day.
fucking interesting story.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't want to give him any spotlight because I feel like he would revel in it.
Not
You know?
anymore.
Well, not anymore.
Well, not
yeah.
anymore. You're right.
He rebelled from a jail cell.
Yeah, I suppose, possibly, but yeah.
So you like went to this sorry, so he sent to another shop to get work done.
Yes.
And then when you explained the situation to the shop, they were like, "Oh, okay, we'll give it back to
Because
you."
he owed the shop money.
Oh
So
my
they
god.
weren't releasing the car to him.
Oh my god.
So all the money I was giving to him, he wasn't doing anything with the car. And then, yeah, so
Wow.
it was a whole shebang that was. A
God
whole
damn.
year of my life. It's like flashbacks
Okay,
to...
thank you. If I ever have anything and anyone has to do work on it, I'll be like, "No, I'm good."
Yes.
Yeah.
So I became a lot wiser. Like I went to Utah to see that project with the Utah Raptor.
Yeah.
And
Oh, well, you went all the way to Utah for that?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, it's fascinating because I got to interview Jim Kirkland, who discovered Utah Raptor.
Right.
But that whole thing started with this guy emailing me saying I work at the museum at the gift shop. And his email address was something like your mama at at Hotmail or whatever.
Wait. So you sent
Your mom's fat at gmail.com.
your extremely rare Jeep to your mama?
No, I went there. So this email address messaged me and said, "Oh, if you want to interview Jim Kirkland, the guy who just
But it was
Utah
just like
Raptor."
the most random email.
It was so random. And then I was like,
I'll go to Utah for this.
Let me go check.
It's in the middle of nowhere in
this was
Utah.
before my car incident. So I was a lot more like, oh yeah, of course I'll go to Utah.
Who would ever try
no
to
one would
scam
lie to
me? Yeah,
me.
no one would do that.
Unfortunately, he was a real guy.
Oh, okay.
And I
Okay.
did get to interview the Jim Kirkland there.
Your first question. What the fuck is that email?
There are those moments where you like maybe agree to do stuff like that where right before maybe you have to meet the person or whatever, where it dawns on you like this could be a
It could go really bad.
This could be a really bad idea.
Yeah.
But I've already committed, so let's see how it plays out.
Yeah. Well, that's why I ignored Mei Lin's messages for so long. Really? Yeah. When Mei Lin messaged me,
Yeah.
I was like, when she was like, I work for a that's a publisher for Katakawa, and I'm just like, this is back when nobody was like paying attention to anime YouTubers, so I was just like, scam email, delete. And then it was only when I was hanging out with Joey, when Joey was like,
Yeah.
yo, have you ever talked to Mei Lin? And I'm like, she's real?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, she's been trying to contact you for ages. And
Yeah.
you keep deleting the email.
No.
You also got to interview Jeff Goldblum as well.
Yes.
Didn't
Oh,
What?
lovely.
you? Yeah.
Lovely. He's
Hell
exactly
yeah.
as you'd expect.
Is he?
He's
Oh,
Is he
man.
chill?
Oh yeah. Well, that was Jurassic World Evolution. Have you played that game?
I've not played that game.
Oh. Well,
is it
Evolution
good?
2. Well, you don't like dinosaurs, though. I don't know.
Well,
if you-
I don't not like dinosaurs. I just
Maybe
don't
we
have
start your
any,
dinosaur
There's
arc.
no passion there yet, but maybe perhaps
Yeah,
Dinosaur
maybe we can light the
Evolution,
fire.
Jurassic
By the end of the
Yeah.
episode, he'll be in.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
So it's a game where you make your own park and you have the dinosaurs,
that
and
sounds
they
fun.
break out and fight and attack things.
That sounds great.
Basically,
it's a zoo tycoon with
theme
dinosaurs.
park,
Exactly.
dinosaur edition.
Was it
right?
popular?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the most popular dinosaur game I think.
Oh wow. Yeah,
right
very
now.
popular. Wow.
So yes, I went to the press event and we were allowed to interview Jeff Goldblum, and he's like in the Universal lot and everything. He's in a curtained off area where everyone's taking turn the press and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You sort of go in there, and he's just so chill. He doesn't have to deal with all the stress and everything that's going on. He's completely quiet back there, and he's sucking on a lozenge, just relaxed. And you go in there, and you're like, "Hi, Jeff." It's like, "Oh, what's your name?" and stuff. And luckily, I was so nervous, but the guys up front who make this game, he properly introduced me because I was just like, "I'm James." You don't say anything about you.
Yeah.
Just like he's just happy to be there, and he doesn't know. But luckily, a guy came over and he said, "Oh, he's like the biggest dinosaur YouTuber, and he loves
Yeah.
Jurassic." So then Jeff could get into the headspace
Right.
of where the questions are going
right.
to go. So luckily, but yeah, it flew by. I think I only had about 10 minutes or something with him.
Oh,
but-
shit.
Oh.
Yeah, they
But
don't
yeah.
really get long, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, absolute gem, treasure,
Hell
and
yeah.
love that man.
Yeah, man, this game was good.
Yeah.
Good reviews.
Oh yeah, I mean, and if you have it on PC, there's loads of mods and stuff. So
What-
I mean, I was very heavily considering getting this game just randomly because I was like, oh, it just looks like theme park.
It's Roller
Or
Coaster
like
Tycoon
Roller
with
Coaster Tycoon,
dinosaurs.
but with
Exactly.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I can
Yes.
fuck with that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But what about playing as the dinosaur? There's games like that. Be the
Are
dinosaur.
you serious?
Yes. You get to start as a baby, you grow, you hunt, you eat, and there's everyone online is playing as dinosaurs, and you have to kill them if you're a
so it's
carnivore
like
to eat.
so it's like a dinosaur MMO?
Yes.
Wait, what is it called?
Well, there's a few different ones.
Which one do you recommend?
Right now, I recommend Path of Titans.
Path of
Path of
Titans.
Path of
Oh,
Titans.
I haven't
Yes.
heard of this stuff.
So it's like 100 people on a server. They're all different dinosaurs.
Right.
They all have their cores and stuff. And if you're a carnivore, you have to basically hunt and eat other players.
Right.
So the food system is that you are the resource. And you want to
Whoa.
survive. If you're a herbivore, obviously you get big, and depending on the
Yeah.
species and stuff. But I played this with Emirichu and Didus, and we had a good time just messing around. But yeah, you got your growth meter there, you've got your stamina, you can do different effects like bleed and stuff like that. You can call, have a hurt on there. He's being chased down by a concavinator there, trying to survive. Yeah. He's got the health bar, the hunger and thirst, and this is
sick.
Yeah, no, it's a really good game. There is another one called The Isle, which is way more unforgiving. I find that because in this, if you die, you lose some growth depending on the server.
Right.
In The Isle, you just start over if you die.
Oh,
and it can take hours sometimes. And there's like a big crocodile in that game that you stay submerged and you've got to wait for players to come by and then you grab them and drown them and stuff like that. But yeah, there's...
This is a whole rabbit hole.
It's so much fun.
Interesting.
It's got really good reviews.
Because I was going to ask, I feel like the reason I got out of Dinosaurs was because there wasn't enough dinosaur media to keep my passion going.
There wasn't, no. Yeah. 2003 was a dark time.
Never forget.
We had Jurassic Park Builder on mobile and that was it. It was Farmville, basically. But we survived and we're here to tell the tale.
Shit now.
Now we got all this shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, I mean, there's a whole. I mean, that's the old one. I think they've got like one in beta at the moment that's way better graphics and stuff. But yeah, that's been in early access for I think 15 years.
Oh my god.
No end in sight. But yeah,
it's just 2015, so it's 10 years.
Yes. Oh, when Jurassic World came out, the amount of dinosaur games that were indie that were like, oh yeah, and they all pushed themselves.
Right.
And all of them were horrendous. But they were like, money, must be money now.
Yeah.
Got to catch the wave.
Yes, exactly.
God.
So that's probably why it was 2015.
Hell yeah.
So being in Japan now, do you find that there is crossover between like dinosaurs and like the whole kaiju kind of
Yeah, I've been exposed to that whole world,
yeah?
which is brilliant. There's so many things that I didn't know about. I got into the Godzilla mobile game and stuff like that, which taught me all about Gamma and Gamma's Godzilla, but all the other ones.
Yeah.
And I think it's because over here you have kaijus, which are just like dinosaurs.
Pretty much.
So it's almost normalized.
Yeah.
When I was growing up in the UK, like you said about Pokemon being weird and nerdy, dinosaurs were the same.
Sick here.
You didn't grow up like watching the Godzilla movies or anything like that?
They were
no
not
access
popular
to
at
them.
all in the UK.
I did the Matthew Broderick one.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
You know what?
Zilla.
Well,
I have a soft spot for that movie.
Really?
I do. There's
my first Godzilla.
Wait, which movie is this?
It's the one where is it New York?
Yeah, it's in New York. You can start Godzilla
1999.
1999.
I think it is.
1999 or 1990.
Yeah, because I keep on saying 2000, but
I
that
feel
was
like I don't know, growing up, no one ever
1998,
spoke
right?
about Godzilla.
Yeah,
it's this one. The only line I remember from this was, "That's a lot of fish."
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish.
And the advert for it had Godzilla stepping on the T-Rex skeleton and squishing it. It was like, oh yeah, this is bigger than the T-Rex. Yeah, you've never seen this one?
No.
Oh,
This is a special one.
This is I don't know.
classic.
As a kid, I really enjoyed this movie.
I did too.
And I have a soft spot for it. And then I grew up and everyone shit on it. And I was
I mean,
like,
it's got that great dollop of like 90s cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything.
Where it's
yeah.
like nowadays you watch it, it's like watching like, a Die Hard, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah.
just cheesy enough where it's enjoyable again. You know what I mean?
Because Godzilla was just a Giga Chad in this. Because I remember there's one scene where he's like getting chased by these helicopters in the middle of like Manhattan, and they somehow fucking lose him. Right? Do you remember this? And then they're
He like hides it and he jumps up and bites him.
yeah. And then they're like, where the fuck did he go? And he full on, because Godzilla just fucking solid snakes them and just solos.
We lost him.
The three.
How do you lose Godzilla?
That's the point.
I think they say that in the movie
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
How do we lose a 300-foot? And then they shoot up their own city, like they destroy the Chrysler building or something.
Why not?
Because he ducks, he's like,
Yeah.
missiles go
Oh, yeah.
past us. Nikotopoulos, that's the
Yeah.
guy. That's the guy's weird name.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for that movie. If you want like 90s cheese, it's not a good movie, but it's an entertaining
no.
movie.
I mean,
man.
that's how I would describe most Godzilla movies. It's like they're not good movies, but they're very fun to watch.
-1 though.
Minus one was fantastic.
Minus
Yeah,
one
there are
was
you get
good.
some where it's like Shin Godzilla or like minus
yeah.
one, or like if you go back to like the original like Godzilla versus Mothra, like the classic ones that are genuinely some great fucking movies, and then you get like, Godzilla versus Kong 2.
I just love that came out like literally the same time as Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have the Godzilla film if you want to enjoy a story, and the Godzilla
And
film.
then there's one where King Kong takes a little monkey and whacks him around a little.
And then you have Kaiju WWE, basically.
Pretty much.
Which, look, I went to go see Godzilla vs. Kong 2 in cinemas, and it was the most fun I've ever had.
It was a fun movie.
It was so stupid.
Yeah, it's the two type of Godzilla movies,
Yeah.
right? Which is why,
one's a cheeseburger, one's a 5-star Michelin.
It
star.
really is, yeah.
You know, like,
because like I'm saying, if they ever do the fucking Godzilla Pacific Rim collaboration, just take my money. Just take my money. I don't care. I just want to see.
That was a good movie as well.
That was
Pacific Rim.
That was a great
Pacific
movie.
Rim was fucking
When he's like,
excellent.
you get children just like they're posing, and all the water falls off. It's like, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Well, the first one was like visual cocaine.
So good.
I remember watching that in cinemas, and I think the most underrated thing about that film is like the sound design. The sound design for like every like fucking clank and just everything.
Well, that was like the first Transformers, wasn't it? It's like tuk, 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 where things are transforming. Like that sound effects and everything.
I just always fucking think of that stupid video of that kid in the car going, and he goes like up to, because he sees like an Optimus Prime looking thing.
Oh right.
And he makes like some kind of
2013,
2013.
dude. Fuck.
Please come back.
You know Arno was frothing at the mouth.
6.9? No fucking way. It's under a 7.
This was like really pretty like critically panned when it came
Yeah,
out,
it
and
was.
then
fucking
kind of became a
was.
cult following.
It's
it took a little bit of
so
time.
good.
It's really
Gypsy
good.
Danger there, beautiful.
Yeah, because like I think the thing that was missing from like its sequels, which I've watched and are shit, is just the thing that makes this one so fucking incredible. It's just the sense of weight with these mechas.
I mean, Gildan will talk
Like
about
it takes like
Yeah,
one.
when the foot lands and then the knee takes the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like just
it
one
definitely-
punch takes so fucking long for the wind up. But
Yeah.
like you feel like the anticipation.
Yeah.
And then when they bring out the oil tanker as well. Oh my God. Oh, this is such a good fucking movie.
I need to rewatch this again, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
seen this in
I
so
gotta watch
long.
this as well. I've watched it so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot that Guillermo del Toro directed
Yeah,
it.
it's Guillermo del
Guillermo
Toro.
del Toro
and
directed
of
this.
course we've got the new Jurassic World coming out as well.
What?
There's a new
There's
one?
a
The
new
director
one?
of Godzilla there, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's directing the new Jurassic World Rebirth.
Are you excited or are you not looking good?
Well, let's say Dominion, Did you watch that? Did you watch Dominion?
Did I watch Dominion?
Jurassic World Rebirth.
It's got ScarJo. That's its star power this time.
Oh.
It's got Scarlett Johansson.
Wait, what? Dominion? Can I see what that one was again?
It was the one where they brought back the old cast. With Jeff Goldblum,
I think
Sam
I did
Neill,
watch
Laura
that.
I
Dern.
did not watch
The
that one.
Locust. The
Yes.
bugs, which you
Yes.
probably would have hated.
Yes, I did like that. How does that movie end again?
The Giganotosaurus dies, and
That's right. There's a giant fucking fight scene, right? With the
yeah, Therizinosaurus,
Chris
the one with the
Pratt.
claws.
5.6.
Yeah, I did watch this. This
Ooh.
one was ass.
Yeah, I
That
did.
fight scene at the end was so shit.
Yeah, well, the thing was, most dinosaurs that are the big bad have a reason for it. Like Indominus Rex in Jurassic World was a hybrid. It was a crazy killer.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3, the spider didn't
Oh yeah,
even
and they
die.
had like the Jurassic thing that was like the ice world or something. It was
Oh yeah,
fucking
they had an
massive.
ice bit, with the
Yeah,
Pyroraptor.
yeah,
That was a
sorry,
feathered
carry on.
raptor.
This is the most forgettable movie I've watched in years.
I didn't even realize it was a thing.
Yeah.
I must have completely missed this one.
Well, I feel like I watch every movie that comes out in
Yeah.
Japan in English, so I feel like I've just
Well,
probably
it comes
watched
out
it.
later as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just watch whatever is on, and this is one of them, and it was forgettable.
I mean,
Sorry, carry on. But you
I
were talking
made
about
like
how
a-
the Gigadonsaurus.
Yeah, Gigadongosaurus.
The Gigadonsaurus.
Okay.
And
Yes, yeah. Well, that dinosaur just died for no reason. Like, it never was aggressive, and then it gets like impaled and beat up. And I remember the director for this movie went on record saying that this dinosaur is like the Joker. and the Joker. And everyone was like watching me and went,
What do you
what was he
mean? What are you
talking
talking
about? I think it was meant to be like the way he's brought up is, he's a Joker's society, right? Like how
Right.
it makes him the way it is. But I don't even,
he's
see that.
He's the
in-
outcast of the dinosaur
Yeah,
society.
not really. Not really. He has a little fight with the T-Rex, a territorial dispute, lets it live, and then in the end, the T-Rex is like, "No, die!" and then throws it into Freddy Krueger.
I think I just remember watching this film. I'm always remembering that, like, what's his name? Not the really handsome guy.
Chris Pratt.
No. The guy with the glasses. I forgot his name.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Every scene he was in, I just remember being like distracted because he was just. It was like you were just watching Jeff Goldblum, not as a
Yes.
character.
Yes.
Just him go like, "What's up, baby? We gotta save the world." Okay. I guess let me just fuck a little quick. You're just kind of like watching him on camera. You're like, brother, the world is ending, Jeff. Lock in.
So you're too chill about it.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum just plays Jeff Goldblum in
Well, that's being
everything
a star,
he's in.
right? Like the
Yeah.
difference between an actor and a movie star.
Yeah.
You're brought to the role for that reason.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I made an hour-long essay on reviewing this. But yeah, I did say that unfortunately he can't play Ian Malcolm like he used to. Ian Malcolm was a bit more serious, a bit more dour.
Yeah.
Where here he's signing books like,
Yeah.
It means
He's just Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff
He's
Goldblum.
playing
He's just Jeff
the star Jeff Goldblum.
the intro for him where he's doing a lecture. Yes.
Yeah.
After
Right.
that, no. It's
Right.
Jeff.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Is there any good Jurassic Park movies after, like you said, the third one?
So
Was
Fallen Kingdom's intro is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
wait. Let's establish this. How many Jurassic Park movies are there?
There's a lot more than you
There's a
think.
lot more
there's
now.
6 at the moment.
6.
7 coming this year.
I
I've
thought there were
only
5.
heard. I've only know the first one and Jurassic World.
So Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
the Lost World
You
Jurassic
must watch
Park.
Jurassic Park 2.
I'd never watched.
That was the
Jurassic
best one.
Yeah.
Park. I never watched.
I
Is that
enjoy it.
controversial?
No, it's my favorite.
So who's the best one? Who's the best one? Who's the best one?
It's because when I was a kid, I used to have like army men and send them on an island, and that's what Lost World is.
I must have missed this one.
Yeah,
I didn't watch
Wait,
this
what's
one.
the plot line to this one again?
John Hammond is he sends Jeff Goldblum and his
So
team
sick.
as a research to see how the dinosaurs are getting on, and unfortunately his cousin is wanting to poach the island and bring the dinosaurs back to San Diego to set up an amphitheater and,
Yes.
and a mini Jurassic Park.
This was the one where they
Yes.
kidnapped the
Baby
T-Rex,
T-Rex,
right?
yes.
Oh, okay. It's all coming back. Yeah, I like this one.
Yes. Well, the thing is, I watched Jurassic Park and Lost World back to back at a midnight sort of showing in the UK, and every line in Jurassic Park was quoted. Everyone was quoting. In the Lost World, everyone's just sort of talking over each other. It's all jumbled, like the dialogue in it. But at the same time, I think that's why it works, because it's more like all these different characters and stuff. But I like it. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure.
Because I remember Jurassic World was based, or the Lost World was basically just King Kong with T-Rex. That's
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
because he
remember
runs amok
correctly.
in the
yeah, because he runs amok, right?
And
Yeah.
he eats a dog off screen. He's sort of chomping on the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing, and then he's
And then Jurassic Park 3 was when I was like, what's going on?
So
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3 is World?
No,
No, it's
Jurassic
just
Park 3 is
Jurassic
the one with the Spinosaur.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I must have missed all
It's
these.
the one that spawned Spino fanboys.
Oh, I can't remember if it was
It
this
was-
or another
it
film.
was-
Was this the film where someone tries to make an epic sacrifice?
Oh.
And then he just gets like, he was,
Ooh, sacrifice.
I don't know if it's
I like
this
how
or
it's
King
Jurassic
Kong.
Park 3, but they're
Yeah.
playing Jurassic Park on IMDb.
I might be getting this confused with King Kong.
That
because,
Jurassic Park 3 is the one with the kid. The parents try and
the
find their
kid.
kid on the island.
I hated the fucking
Eric.
All right, let me.
There was the one they
Miss all
parachute in and then the parachutes get
Yes,
like,
that's it.
yeah, I remember, yeah.
But this one, for good scenes, the intro of the Spino is pretty good. The fact that it is a villain. Like at one point, it eats the mobile and has the ringtone. And they slowly turn around. He's just standing there while it's playing. So he's been there watching them like, yeah, I'm going to eat you.
Damn.
And then the pteranodons in the Avery scene has a really good build-up with the
I think that's what I order at Sukiya, I think, actually.
pteranodon, where it comes through the mist and the drums
All
build
right,
up.
I was wrong. It was Kong Skull Island. But
Oh yeah, where he's got the grenade.
when he's got the grenades, I just remember dinosaurs. I was like,
skull crawler.
that's one of the dinosaur
Kong
movies.
Skull Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Search
movie
up
was-
such a
Yeah.
worthless
Is
sacrifice.
that with Jack Black?
yeah.
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 Yeah, right.
Was Jack back in that one?
I think so. Was he
Jack
not?
Black's in
Sa-
one of the movies, the Kong movies.
Yeah.
Worth-
Oh, he's in Jumanji.
He's in Kong too.
No, he's in one of
Is
the
he in
Kong
Kong?
movies.
Like
Yeah.
the OG
I think it's
Kong?
this
yeah,
one.
yeah, it's
Oh,
it's that-
sorry.
No,
Peter
not
Jackson's
2000s.
King Kong. I'm sorry.
Yes, Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson's.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was a good movie. I enjoyed that
Yeah.
one.
This
Did you
one-
not?
I was too young, I think, to appreciate it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Skull.
that top scene right
the
there was
skull
what I was
crawler.
thinking about.
What is this then?
Yeah, because the skull crawler's going to eat him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And he's like,
and
right.
he's gonna sacrifice himself to save
Okay.
them.
I'll not spoil it. I'll not spoil it.
Yeah,
God damn.
What the fuck is that?
Giganotosaurus.
No. You're going to make up some name and I believe you. You'd be like, Big Bullsaurus. I'd be like, that's so cool.
Although there is a big bull in this one.
Oh, wait, I remember this? What the fuck?
You remember this?
I
Joey?
remember this scene. Yeah, the fucking grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think earlier he's eaten somebody, like the creature eats somebody with its tongue.
Something like that.
So it's like it remembered. It's like, nah.
Wow.
So wait, hang on.
That's just the perfect meme timing for like such a dramatic scene. It's the explosion after he flies off the side.
That's pretty
There's a
good.
salt to the wound.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But I mean, Dominion had a similar scene of butchering one of the Dilophosaurus. Do you remember that?
The
Where Chris
Dilophosaurus.
Pratt he strangles the dinosaur.
Oh,
Do you remember
yeah.
Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park where it spits the venom?
Yeah.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's gonna do it to Claire, and then Chris just comes in like, nah. He just strangles it, and then it's like, get good.
Sure, that film's so long. And I wanted it to end like an hour earlier than it did. Than it should have. Oh my god.
So after all this, I gotta know, why did you want to move to Japan? Because from what I understand, Geeks Plus didn't contact you.
No,
You contacted Geeks Plus
I did.
Oh, really?
I
wanting
did.
to move to Japan.
Yes, I was watching some of Connor's
Oh.
beautiful videos.
Oh.
That's very kind.
And we've been to Japan in 2020 for Christmas and summer, and then of course,
Summer? And you wanted to move here?
well, maybe it was the height of summer. Sorry, no, it wouldn't have been the height of summer. Because then I would have thought about that.
you'd rethinking.
Yeah. And COVID started, of course, and we couldn't travel, we couldn't leave the house.
Yeah.
And then when you're stuck inside every day, and I've just been to Japan,
Yeah.
I was like, I wish I was back there. I wish I was back there. Of course, and then you get all the FOMO. I'm seeing all you guys like having a great time. Like,
You got
lucky moving just before COVID.
and then I saw in I think it was your contact. It was like Geeks Plus or something. I was like, what the hell's Geeks Plus? So I Googled Geeks Plus, and then I messaged Malin and I said, I'm thinking about, I'd move to Japan for a little bit. Do you know anyone that could do that? She went, we do that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then that's how the whole process started, was just reaching out.
So were you always into Japan before you came here, or was it the trip that kind of made you be like, yeah,
the
this is
trip
place?
was, I mean, obviously I've liked anime when I was a kid growing up, of course. It was always that, what's this cartoon? It's adult. This is different. People swear and die. And like, what was it? Megastropolis or something. I remember watching that when I was a kid.
Is it Metropolis?
Metropolis, yeah. I had a friend who had that, and I was like, whoa, as a kid. That was, whoa. So, I mean, the anime world aside, I just wanted to, when you're done with work, I wanted to, if you've got an afternoon, I want to go out and see something different.
Your world doesn't revolve around dinosaurs
What the
24/7?
Not anymore.
What?
Not anymore.
God damn.
That's
We
for
watched
sure.
Another one.
Another good one does. And I just thought, it'd be great if I was just in a place where even if I just keep doing what I'm doing,
Yeah.
I can go out and go to Shibuya or Shinjuku.
Right.
Or something different, because around where I was living, I'd be, it all.
Yeah.
There's nothing new, and it always feels like there's some. And especially when the 5th movie for Jurassic World came out, they had a pop-up cafe. And you could get an Indoraptor. I'm moving. So that Indoraptor burger that was like black buns and stuff, and then like a volcano. And of course you've got Universal in Osaka.
Okay, of
Yeah.
course.
So and,
The Jurassic Park ride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that didn't exist anywhere else except for Japan. The pterodactyl one we struck.
Yeah,
Have you been on it?
Yeah, I've been on it.
Oh, it's so good.
Good, yeah.
I love it.
I used to just go on it a bunch, because if you did Solo Rider, you could just skip the whole line.
Yeah.
So I would go.
I was too scared when I first went there.
What?
But then I went not
It's
too
so
long ago.
good.
I went. It was me, my wife.
It's
and
the best ride there, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's not
it's
even
up there.
close.
In fact, when you go down, it accelerates. Oh, anyway.
Oh,
but
this
yes,
is fun.
yeah, it's so good, so good. And I just thought, moving here, I could do, a couple of things here and there, and
Yeah.
and then of course the whole I've worked with Dino Alive, the company that does the dinosaur shows here.
Yep.
So every year, I sort of try.
Is that the same company that does the Dinosaur Hotel?
No,
That's a different-
That's art.
Wait, sorry. Dinosaur shows?
Yeah.
What is a dinosaur
Have you
show?
On Art, or a company that they copyright their own things, and they call the people inside the costumes pilots, because they've got like screens and everything inside these
Right,
dinosaur
right.
costumes.
Whoa.
So it's every year they do like a big dinosaur show.
Whoa.
And the guy who runs it,
What the
Kanamura-san he's definitely a dinosaur otaku.
Yeah.
He's like a John Hammond, I call him, like John Hammond of this.
Yeah.
And they put on all these shows. They did a great one last year, which was like the Lantern Parade.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
At night they did a dinosaur show. It was only
Yeah.
for 3 nights, which is crazy because the amount of effort that goes into it.
Fuck, why only 3 nights?
I don't know. And unfortunately, it did rain on one of them, which is because it was outside. That's the first time
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
done it outside. But yeah, I mean, there he is, as Kanamura-san getting eaten.
Oh.
But yeah, they do. It's amazing. Like the brachiosaur they've got there,
Yeah.
which is like the height of a brachiosaur, is huge.
Jesus.
That thing. Obviously, that wasn't outside, but I had no idea about this.
Where is this
until-
held?
It changes every time, actually.
Oh, wow.
It was somewhere in the Tokyo Bay where the whole studio turns around, and they have different stages. So you're in Jurassic. This one.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's
So they
sick.
like to have a story. The one they did recently was in English and Japanese. So if you think about coming,
Yeah.
keep an eye on that.
sounds
If you're,
awesome.
if you're
Let's
into
go.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, I want to go to
and-
that.
But yeah, it's fantastic. And he's wanting to take it international. In fact, he was going to do it, and then COVID happened.
Right.
Oh.
So I don't know where he signed up to, but yeah, hopefully
Everything about this just is awakening the inner child in me.
Yeah, I want to go.
You know? Just going to a
it's
full-on dinosaur show?
And it's really popular with women, actually. Girls love it. They love to get scared, apparently. They go in pairs and they get terrified when the dinosaur comes near. They're like, ah! Because I asked him, like, oh, what's the main target audience? He's like, oh, yeah, we have a lot of families, but a lot of just like general.
Great to go on dates then. Be like, don't
Yes.
worry, baby.
Yeah.
I'll protect you from the
Exactly.
T-Rex.
You can do the-
She'll grab hold
No,
of
you
you,
can
like,
do the Chris
"Protect me."
Pratt. Yeah. Stop.
Hell yeah.
So yeah,
That's
da-
sick as fuck.
dating
Oh,
scene.
we definitely need to go.
Yeah.
I'm so down to
Boys
go to
trip.
Did not know they had this.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I know you can like fly, like do a zip line into Godzilla's mouth.
Yes, on
Yeah.
Awaji Island.
Yeah, on Awaji.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awaji's got all
Yes.
the weird shit.
They do.
All the weird stuff
I
like
Yeah.
that.
don't know why it's all on that island.
Nothing else to do.
They
there.
need the money.
Well, that's where they've got their Hello Kitty and stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
it, as well?
Naruto
The
theme park is
Demon
there as
Slayer
well, right?
one's there as well.
Yeah. I did a
Yeah,
video on
yeah,
this
yeah.
one, yeah.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's the
all-
Shin Godzilla
Yeah.
as well. The
I,
scariest one.
I know that you sometimes work with Paul as well, our cameraman. I remember one
Oh.
time he was like, fucking James took me up a fucking mountain shaped like a fucking dinosaur.
Godzilla's backbone.
Yeah, and then he said that it was like an arduous trek to get to this dinosaur back.
But we did 3 peaks
What the fuck?
in Totori.
God.
And if we did 1, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
But then we did 2 more. And I couldn't walk for like days afterwards. My knee was like broken.
And so what was the significance of this mountain?
It's shaped like Godzilla's backbone, like coming out, the spikies.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, can we Google this? See
But
what it looks like?
honestly, if you're thinking about doing hiking in Japan, and you've got Mount Fuji,
Yeah.
which is like a slow, it can be depending on the route you take, but Mount Dyson,
Totori.
yeah, no
Mount
queues,
Dyson.
like the vacuum.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, there it is. And it's I mean, we had the drone and everything, but it's completely quiet, and the climbs there are amazing, but they are intense.
Right.
They can be very
I've
intense.
been to Godzilla Rock. That second one. There.
Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that
Where is that
one.
again? I've been there too.
It's in Aomori, I think, or Akita, somewhere around there.
And Chris took me to see it.
Yeah,
and
I went there with Chris, and I was like, yeah. That's
Oh, is that it with the little?
yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's a rock.
The old one.
That's a rock, all right.
Yes.
Yeah, Godzilla Iwa.
I know,
Paul hated that.
well, no, Paul was just like, it was a long hike. He's
was.
British.
It was.
I also I was watching this TV show in Japan, and there was a prefecture, and they were like, we're called the Godzilla Prefecture. Do you know why? And then they were like, the host is like, Nande. And then they went like, well, if you shrink the prefecture, turn it upside down, and stretch it a little bit, it looks like Godzilla's back. And I was like, what? And then everyone else was like, Sugoi.
They do that with every prefecture, bro. I swear.
I was like, I don't know if you have to. Italy being the boot, it just is the boot.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah.
It looks like we didn't have to like fucking reverse Photoshop warp. Like, come on now, let's calm ourselves.
clutching it.
Yeah, come on. But obviously they're just having a bit of fun. But yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, there's so much Godzilla themed things that they try to spot and everything.
Yeah, they
But
found
to
one.
be fair, The Rock does look like Godzilla.
Yeah.
It does,
Yeah,
but
that
it's,
one does.
but it's
Yeah.
also so fucking
It's just
far
out of the
away.
way. It's like nothing's near it.
It
Nothing
does
is
look
near.
like it's on a coastline and
It does.
Yeah, and supposedly
peninsula.
like
Well, you just have Akita, and Akita.
Yeah.
oh, is it really?
supposedly with this one though, the main draw is that not only does it look like Godzilla, but if you are standing in a particular spot in the particular time of sunset, then it looks like Godzilla is eating the sun.
Oh yeah, I could see
Like
that
the sun, it like
happening.
comes in between
Yeah.
the mouth there, and it's
That's
like,
good.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And
It's
I'm like,
atomic
That-
breath.
that-
I'm like, I guess so, but it's just the Rock.
yeah,
It's just a
that's
fucking
Go
rock.
all that way for like a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's cool.
It looks cool.
Does look cool.
Yeah, in photos, but it's not
Yeah.
worth going all the way out there.
Reminds me of the Okinawan heart-shaped rock that me and Chris looked at, and I was like, this
Oh
is-
yeah.
This doesn't. It's have an Okinawa heart rock. Which doesn't look.
Does
Yeah,
it not look good?
I don't know, man.
it's all right.
Like, sure. Like, I guess, like, I was kind of like, you know what?
Yeah,
that's
there it
fine.
is. That's
I
the heart.
Yeah.
Maybe the heart of a smoker, perhaps.
Yeah.
You're right. It's that.
This is what your
the
lungs.
cigarette box.
Yeah.
The British
lungs
cigarettes they have on the box.
They're like, please don't smoke.
Don't smoke. Your heart might look like the Okinawan rock. How have you liked living in Japan then?
Yeah. How
You've
many
been
years
here
has it
for-
been?
This year we're starting the 4th,
Fourth year.
so it's coming to the end of 3 years now.
And how long did you think you were going to live here?
Like a
One
year?
maybe, one-ish thereabouts.
Yeah.
Because you're a dad now, dude.
Yeah.
How's that like? Like
Congratulations,
raising,
by the way.
yeah.
Thank you.
How's it like raising kids in Japan so far?
Well, I don't know what it's like raising kids anywhere else. I'll be honest.
But,
But at the moment, because when no schools or anything really, and there's a lot of international things here. But I mean, it's exhausting. It's rewarding. I feel like I've done a lot of things where you feel accomplished. Like, oh, that was great. I'm really proud of that. But I don't know. It doesn't compare to when you've got like your baby there and she's depending
Yeah.
on you. That it's completely like when I first bottle fed her and she just looks at you and just staring. It's not. There's no context there. There's no having a conversation. It's just like into your soul.
Right.
It is the deepest thing you will ever feel because she's not breaking eye contact. She's not
Yeah.
worried about social norms. She's just like taking every drip in.
Yeah.
And it is. Oh yeah, man. It's all that, but man, is it draining.
Yeah.
You will have the worst sleeps. You will be. You think what you're tired. Your worst experience now? No.
Yeah.
No. Like some days I'd wake up and just think, right, well the day's ruined. Not when it was the baby, but before that. Right, the day's ruined.
You take one look at your kid. Like,
Honesty is always good, I suppose.
No, before when I would wake up tired and be like, oh, I'm gonna be like this all day. It's too terrible. But now it's like, well, you can't be.
Yeah.
And I've never been so tired where my eyes feel like they're stretching like inward. I've usually had strain up top, but like outwards, I'm like, oh, what is this? Just want sleep. But yeah, it is wonderful. And
You're gonna get your kid into dinosaurs?
this is the thing. So my dad's really into football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bless him if he's watching. Love
Yeah.
you, Dad. And
Mine
he
too.
and he tried his best
Yeah.
to get me
Yeah.
into football. He'd
Yeah.
take me to
Me
games.
too. Me
Yeah.
too.
He would play on a Saturday, and he'd take me.
Yeah,
And at
me too.
halftime,
Yep,
I'd
yep.
kick about. But I'd take my friends, and that was mainly why I enjoyed it. But I think overall, I just wasn't into it. And because you're forced to like, it.
Yeah.
I used to pretend the ball was Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to make this sounds in my head go boing, boing. and Dinosaurs, obviously, I found on my own accord.
Yeah.
And
Right, so you don't want to repeat that possibly for your kid.
Yeah.
You want it to happen naturally.
Exactly. So we'll leave a dinosaur out. And we'll just, if you're
If there's a question
interested,
about it, we'll
Yeah.
you'll be like,
help.
oh, what? Gentle.
Yeah, 'cause-
I'll not be like, this is the best thing you will like this. It happens. And I think especially with kids, they're more open to it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's when, you
You
get-
force it. You force it
you
on them.
force it, or when you get into a social area like kids and stuff, and they all
Yeah.
like
Right.
one thing, and it's not cool to like the other thing.
Yeah.
They've all been there.
Yeah.
So that's
just
uh,
getting into it naturally.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
sure.
that's my devious plan.
Do you mind if I say this? Because I went to your baby shower.
Yes.
And
Yes, thank you.
and I remember the moment when you were opening all the gifts that everyone had given you.
I know where this is going.
He opens the first gift. It's like dinosaur PJs, and he's
Yeah.
just like, yeah. Opens the second gift. more dinosaur PJs. And
You're
those-
seeing my childhood birthdays. dinosaur.
and it was just like dinosaur towels, dinosaur accessories.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
Do you have like a lot of dinosaur themed like utensils or bowls around the house? Like, is everything dinosaur themed?
I've been very picky. I think I went through the phase when I started YouTube and I started getting like, oh, this is the most money I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you just buy.
Yeah.
You buy everything you didn't have. I bought all the Pokemon cards I never had. I bought all the
It's
all
the moment you
dinosaur
realize
toys.
it's like, I have adult money now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you buy all the
You went on
toys.
like a shopping spree. That's right.
eBay. Get all the deals. Buy it now.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
God, I was too into video games. I never ended up like spending any of it. I was just like,
Well, video games is its own thing, though. You got
yeah, but it's
yeah.
like you can only play so many video
I
games.
suppose. I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah, but it's about looking.
It's a different.
Yeah.
It's a bit different from collectibles, though, right?
Do collectibles?
Yes.
I feel like it sneakily adds up on you.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you're like, oh, it's only this
Yeah.
much for this item. It's such a good steal, but then you forget that like I bought 15 other of them.
Well, living in
last
Japan
week.
does that. Everywhere there's a new gacha of
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
thing that's like, oh, I've got to have that, or
Yeah, exactly.
before
It's always
you
about
know it.
collecting,
Yeah.
having material items.
And
Yeah.
it's seasonal. You miss out.
Yeah,
Can't,
it
gotta
is.
have it while it's
It
there.
is.
They do it great here with every season. There's a new.
A little too good, I would
but
argue.
it's good
Yeah.
conditioning because I feel like if I can survive here, not wanting to buy things, I'm nowhere else will ever make me
Yeah.
want to buy things.
Yeah, I failed at that.
yeah.
I collect too much shit.
Well, I saw that like the Pokemon cards, which I think you're into, right?
Yes.
I
very
saw
much.
that some stores were had signs banning adults from buying them.
Well, because
Yeah.
they're scalpers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the newest packs.
And then like
Yeah.
I saw people like asking to like have friends join them or like friends who had kids to join. Is that why you had a kid? You're like, no, she loves Pokemon cards.
I'm buying it for my 1 month-year-old.
Really, I'd love to take the kid out for a walk all day.
Do I? Oh, okay, I'll admit it. So,
Hey, look,
Not
there's
that.
no shame.
so I mean, the Pokemon centers, you can only buy 5 packs, and normally in stores
Yeah.
they limit how
Or
many.
one box.
Yeah.
Or one box if
Yeah,
you're lucky.
if you're
If they
lucky.
even have boxes.
Yeah.
So what I would do is go to Pokemon Center and I would just go straight to the cashier because that's where you get them.
Yep.
And I'd buy my 5 packs. I would go back in. And I'd look around and I might buy like, a little something. I'd go to the cash register and buy 5 more packs. And then if I'd do it again later on.
Yeah.
You know, the Sunshine City, they have it there, the Pokemon Center.
They're not gonna
yeah.
recognize me in the third
Bro,
one.
Well-
those stores are rammed.
Exactly, they are. And I always get a little something, and I hope I don't get the same cashier.
Right.
They have lines in it. If I get the same cashier, and it's happened twice in a row, it's like, God damn it, I have to buy this thing and not get any packs. But luckily, I get somebody else like,
Well,
you have 5 of
That's
them.
a strat.
Well, actually, this one's last one was for my kids. This one's for me, actually.
Yeah,
you know.
investing.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
third
exactly.
one's for my cousin.
Well, I bought, this was 2015. I even made a video on my channel. I bought all of the old stuff.
All right.
Base
Ooh,
set,
the 151?
Jungle, first edition.
Oh
shit.
shit! Aren't those like 10 grand a pack?
20, depending.
Yeah. I mean, OG jungle packs go for
Did you
like
open
10,
it?
15 now.
You just keep the pack.
Nah, you don't want to do that.
So,
I saw Ludwig open his packs and fucking got nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the scariest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Sometimes if you're lucky, you can open.
my collection.
Oh
my Little God. bit. Wait,
you have the
I'll show you.
Hold on, I need to see this.
Hold on, yeah. Where is it?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I think I saw at Lud's house because he has like a bunch of PSA
Yeah, that's
glass boxes.
That's
Yeah.
my collection.
Oh my
there.
god!
So I've got. Even the Australian Jungle Rare booster box had the red print of Pokemon instead
looks
of
like-
yellow.
6 figures.
It is.
That's easily
Oh,
6
whoa,
figures.
wait, no.
That's-
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
that's easily
Oh
6
my
figures.
lord!
Yeah.
You have a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
Well, I remember back in 2015.
I'm jealous of this collection.
That's crazy.
I bought. Sorry, you go
I
on, don't know
admire,
if-
I
my
admire your
God.
dedication so
Yeah.
much. I wish I
I
could commit to
collect-
something.
So I remember you could buy booster boxes on Amazon when I was buying them. I bought a
Really?
legendary collection booster box, which was about.
Can you send that to me so I can?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can put it on the episode.
That's crazy.
I bought that. It's like £300, and now it goes for like I don't know, 20 grand or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
For £300.
Yeah. And in the video, I mentioned this. I mentioned that because I'm sort of unboxing all my posts and all the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, there was a first edition base set, but it was going for 10 grand. I would never spend 10 grand on Pokemon cards. And then, of course, 2020 came around. $250,000. And I'm like, damn it, when I was buying that 10 grand, you know?
It's always like that. You always could have been the guy who bought. I could have got Bitcoin when it was.
Exactly.
Because I remember there was a guy in my university. What year would I have been in university? I would have been, 18? How old? 10 years ago?
18 is university
2015.
age, normally.
2015. There was a guy who, he had a fuck ton of Bitcoin. And it was when it had already kind of gone up a bunch.
Oh.
And he was, he just had like tons of it at that time. And I remember we were all like, oh, wow, lucky guy. I got into it. And even if I'd just gotten into it then, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. God knows how much money he's got now.
Did he? Oh, wow.
He had a
was-
lot still. And I met him. And I didn't understand what it was. I was asking him to explain it to me, but I didn't fully understand. And I thought it was weird.
Well, it
Yeah,
was.
probably-
It was.
yeah,
when
yeah, it
first
was
came
weird.
around. It was
Yeah.
like,
And
what?
I mean,
No one thought it was going to go anywhere. I had a friend in uni as well who bought Bitcoin 2-3 days after it got announced or whatever. And we were just like, this is shit. And he's like, I don't know. I've just paid $10 for one. It's like, whatever. And I think he spent it on something.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
He didn't say
it was like a dinner
well, I mean,
or something. He was just like,
at that-
this place you can pay in Bitcoin. I happen to have some. And he bought dinner with it.
at that point, you got to be you got to hope that you were smart enough to keep your Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Or keep your hard drive with the Bitcoin on it.
Was that
you know?
person in Wales who lost their hard drive that had 600 million?
Yeah.
And he said he won't stop looking through this tip.
Yeah,
to,
that's right.
try
Until
and
he
find
finds it.
Yeah.
But it would probably be crushed if anything, right? It
Probably.
could have been. And it would be in
I mean,
parts.
you just have to. At that case, you got to be like, man, I know this sucks, but you just got to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
on
You
with your
gotta-
life.
you can't- you
cannot
can't-
have your whole life be dedicated
Yeah.
to this hard
I've got a
drive.
friend who he was into Bitcoin, but it was one step too complicated. And where he had to download something else and he didn't do it. And he still to this day is like, if only I'd done that. And you can't live your life like
No.
that.
No.
You can't. Like, what?
No.
And who knows? You might have, even if you had it lying around, I'm sure a bunch of people sold the moment it went up even
A
a little
tiny
bit.
bit.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like, wow, it's gone up. Wow, $100 a Bitcoin.
I mean, I'm
That's
sure, every kid who grew up with Pokemon cards, taking it back to this, who were just like, oh, it's irrelevant.
for
I'm
sure.
just going to chuck it out now.
Yeah.
Not knowing that
no,
was a down
Lord
payment
knows
on a
I did
house.
that, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I think my parents actually made jokes about that at some point where I'm like, oh, I'm sure it'll be worth something someday. And
Yeah.
it was always with this sarcastic flair.
Yeah.
And now you look at them and you're just like, shit, what the hell?
Oh, yes.
it was actually going to be worth
So
something.
you're telling me this picture of a lizard is going to pay for my next house?
a bit of cardboard.
Yeah, sure, all right.
It is scary though when you're just thinking, why is there such value for this?
Well,
the value feels too much.
It
crazy.
terrifies me. I
Yeah.
bought them because I just wanted to look at them.
Yeah.
And be a kid and be like, man.
Yeah.
And now I look at them and it's scary.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
It feels reminiscent of the what was the tulips in the Dutch auctions way back.
The
you hear about this?
inflation?
The
Yeah,
inflation, where they were buying
the tulip
futures.
the tulip bubble.
Yeah, they had a bubble where
yeah.
they were buying the promise of tulips because they were so expensive at the time.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think, and they were getting to the point where it was something ridiculous, like $10,000 a tulip.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, it was insane.
Jeez.
And then obviously it crashed. It does. I mean, I know it probably won't because it's a collectible, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just does feel insane to think this pack of cards is worth $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A quarter of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
million. You're like, this just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I know that there's history behind it and there's a reason, but when you're looking at it, what the fuck?
It is.
Yeah.
It can become a very, very slippery slope. I'm probably one step away from where you are currently.
Oh.
Where I've looked at some jungle boxes and I'm just like,
Do I?
that's 30
What
grand
is a
right there.
jungle box?
It's the booster.
Yeah,
Jungle was.
Jungle is the name of the booster set that they
Yeah.
had.
So you had base
Right.
set, Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket, Legendary Collection.
And those are the originals.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And when I bought in 2015, Legendary Collection was the most expensive
Yeah.
because it had reverse hollows.
Yeah.
And now
What is a
they're-
reverse hollow?
It's where the image of the Pokemon isn't hollow, but the rest of
The rest of the
card
card is.
And then there's different types of hollows. So those are fireworks, so they look like they're spritzing out. So
But Jungle, I think, out of all the OG stuff, is probably the most popular right now in terms of boosters, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I have a
okay.
feeling. There's been a huge surge of Jungle.
I just watched
recently.
that guy that opens them on the shorts.
Oh, it was
Should
like,
I open it?
oh,
Or should I
should
keep
I
it?
keep it?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
And then they just freak out, and I'm like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
man, good for you.
Yeah.
But I love watching it. I love
Is-
watching them open it, just because I'm like, I think I just want to watch someone gamble.
Yeah.
Look, it's just real.
Is that what it is?
No, it's
Carl?
just real life gacha.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yes.
It's just
And every now and
Is
then,
it gacha if you're
if it's that much money.
it's a lot of money and you're trying to, well, some people are trying to collect, but there are a lot of people who are just trying to
Invest.
attain value.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
right?
the slabs are. All the PSA slabs.
slabs.
Yeah.
All that's investment. That's
Yeah.
what that is.
yeah. It's all copium in different ways.
But there's copium. Loads of copium.
Well, we've millennialized like stock markets.
Yeah.
We've made it like, oh, I don't care about stocks and figures. I like Pokemon. Yeah. You see how much a base set pack goes for now?
Some stocks
now
have good
these are the
returns.
stocks I can understand.
This is a Charizard.
I think there is just that obsession with it's like the stock market, boring and predictable.
Yeah.
The
Pokemon cards?
the Pokemon cards, the fact that I could 10x my value
Yeah.
instantly,
Yeah.
it does feel like
It's because
okay.
it has a fun picture to go along with
That's
it. You know?
exactly it.
It's,
And I think there's also the copium of like, oh, I like the card too. Whereas like I think some people, they are only doing it for monetary value or
Yeah.
reason,
Yes.
but they're like, no, I love collecting it, and it's like, do you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of that now.
But I
Yeah.
know,
Like in Japan, the card market is insane.
Stupid now.
There's
Yeah.
so you can't go Akihabara and find decent prices at all.
No,
it's
no.
all. Like,
You got to go to the
super
hidden areas now.
yeah, hidden areas are just online a lot of the times.
But you can't trust the online. That's the thing. You got to go to a card shop and actually see the card physically to be like, okay, this price, I see the card that's there. Because like I've heard so many horror stories of like people trying to buy expensive cards on like Mercari and just being scammed.
Yeah.
Essentially, and
Yeah.
because their return policy is kind of grey as well, so a lot of people have just taken advantage of that, being like, "It's a holo, trust me."
Yeah.
I got
Need my yen,
scammed.
please.
I got scammed with Pokemon cards as well.
Really?
Yeah, it was Gumtree. You remember? You know?
Oh, I remember
Yeah, yeah,
I
Gumtree.
use
like-
Gumtree all the time.
The
Yeah.
lawless eBay of the UK is
Yeah.
Gumtree.
And you have to meet up in person.
Well, he was selling booster boxes, like the base set booster boxes. He was like 50 quid. And I was like, whoa, what a steal.
Yeah.
I'll buy 4. And then he just never sent them. And I was, like there was no guarantee.
Probably
with the
worth
money.
the risk.
Well, back then, it was still, that was a lot for what they were. Like
Yeah.
£200, £300 was a
Yeah.
booster
Yeah.
box back then. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And I just want to have it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I used to go on Gumtree all the fucking time.
Did you?
Yeah. I used to just haggle. I didn't even want stuff. I would just haggle.
I just wanted to win.
I think I was just one of those people that was obsessed with getting a deal. So I think I would just mass spam people for like stuff that I was like semi interested in and just lowball the shit out of them until someone was like, okay, fine.
Well, you'd like eBay because you can make an offer.
Oh no, because
No.
they'd get like aggressive on eBay if you did.
Yeah, Gumtree is more like the Wild West,
It's like Facebook
Because it was
Market.
often,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
people who just
exactly.
wanted to get rid of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I remember the one time I bought the 3DS XL from this guy, and he told me to meet up, and everything felt like a drug deal. The way he like was talking, and the way he told me to meet was like, it wasn't like, hey, meet me here. It was like, there's a city hall. Meet me at the third tree facing north to the bit. And I was like,
I'll be carrying around a stylus.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I was standing next to this tree, and I remember he agreed to pay me. He was like, yeah, Pokemon Y is on it too, and it was the Pokemon Y, the branded one.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll get. And I was like 17 or 18 at this point. No, I was 18, and I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, okay, I'll come meet you there. And so I waited this corner. Next to the city hall in Swansea, I remember this, and there's a tree, and then a Porsche pulled up, and all tinted windows. Guy in a suit rolls down the window, doesn't roll down.
Yeah.
He's like, Nintendo DS? I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you have the money? He said, do you have the money? I was like, yeah. So I hand the £50, and then he just takes it, and then like, kind of like, almost like, he's like trying to get rid of a bomb. He kind of just throws it out the window, passes it to me, and he's like, all right. And then just fucking like goes away.
It was probably stolen, maybe.
Might have been.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like, we gotta meet right now. He was like, what are you doing on like Wednesday? And I was like, all right.
Or it was like filled with cocaine.
And then, and then the bastard, I opened this DS, and obviously he'd factory reset it, but already had used the code for Pokemon Y on
Right.
like,
Oh,
his
so you
system.
couldn't read-
I didn't, so I couldn't even download it. And I was
Bastard.
like, but I mean, it was £50.
That was the
Nintendo
cash.
DS,
Yeah.
3DXL, it's
Oh,
fine.
that's good.
It was a good price. Yeah.
You wanted
very
to drive off before you could check that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Motherfucker.
it. That was it.
Motherfucker. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Good Nintendo DS. But I just remember it was really weird. Gumtree was fun. I used to lowball the shit out of people. I was just fun. I didn't even want it half the time.
Is your favorite Pokemon Dinosaur?
Okay, no.
Because there are dinosaur Pokemon.
Oh yeah, the fossils.
Yeah.
Love those guys. I love that.
Are any of those your
Best
favorites?
fossil Pokemon?
Best fossil Pokemon?
Oh, I have a soft spot, and it's not even that good. I like Ammonite because it's just like it's like
He's a
an
cute
Ammonite.
He's a cute boy.
It's an Ammonite.
Cute baby boy.
My favorite Pokemon is probably Psyduck.
That's such a wild.
Furthest thing away from dinosaurs.
That's such a wild card.
It's cute that he just hurts himself.
Yeah.
He's just dopey and silly, you know. He's cute. He's cute, and he's got lots of merch. So
That's true.
There's a lot of
Japan
merch.
loves Psyduck.
I saw you've been getting into Warhammer recently as well.
We're talking about the Emperor's Chosen.
The full
Truly
dad route.
completed the dad
Fuck, I
route
want to
now.
get into Warhammer so
Yeah.
bad.
Dude,
I feel like it'd be so fun.
you will never regret it. Trust me.
I feel like I just won't be able to have any other hobby.
No. I have seen
It's
people.
an expensive hobby.
Not as expensive as Pokemon.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Just wait until the miniatures become fucking...
Yeah,
Oh my god, you have the Emperor's penis miniature. I need it.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, Warhammer fucking terrifies me because I've had people who have gotten into Warhammer. You are one of those people now, and it seems like once you get into Warhammer, you don't have time to do many things else, many other things outside from going into the Warhammer. More Warhammer. Because there's so many different aspects to it. There's obviously like the collecting aspect, the board game aspect, and then just the lore aspect as well. Because Sydney's brother has recently gotten into Warhammer, and he's read like 5 books over the past few months.
40K.
Yeah, the 40K Warhammer 40K.
This
books.
also this also scares me. People are like 40K, like there's like different like
Factions.
Yeah,
things,
Age of
and I'm
Sigmar.
like,
There's 2 different
I'm like,
basic games.
there's 5 books of one of them.
5? There's hundreds.
I know. And then
Connor's
it's
like, I have to
and then it's
read.
like someone who like reads the books, and then I'll be like, oh, so like you like you play with the miniatures. They're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
They're like, no, I only fuck with the lore. I'm like,
Yeah.
I get it. Honestly.
I think I remember this one because I had no idea. The only thing I know about Warhammer is that it's this shit you can buy from Games Workshop.
Yes.
Yeah, back in the UK. And so when Sydney's brother got into it, I was like, okay, I don't know much about Warhammer. Can you give like the basics of what even is Warhammer? I hear so much about it. He proceeds to talk for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And
You shouldn't have done that.
And I had
You understood none of it?
no idea. It had not helped me understand what Warhammer was in the 30 minutes.
Like he was telling you what he's on right now, probably.
Yeah.
There needs to be like that entry level.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just overwhelming. So there's so much going on, and like you said, you've got the painting side. You've got people who just build the stuff and don't paint it. You've got the lore as well, like all the audiobooks and stuff, and the games as well. You've got like the real-time strategy ones. You've got Space Marine 2 that just came out not too long ago as well.
Right.
So I mean,
Yeah, that's what terrifies me. It's just there's so much out there.
it's
like, where do I
depends
start?
up to you. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I started when Lord of the Rings had Warhammer. Back in the
wow.
day, I used to collect like the Urukai.
wow.
White Hand Samurai. And it was my friend who was in a 40K, and it wasn't until COVID happened again. I had no time, like, there's plenty of spare time.
Yeah.
And I had the Dark Souls board game. And
Oh,
that,
okay.
That has minis, and I started painting those minis. And then my friend was like, "Oh, you should try painting this thing,
This Warhammer thing."
So I painted like the Necrons, which are just metal boys, which you can't mess up. Just paint metal paint and slosh some shade on it, you're good.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to start something too crazy because then you're like, oh, I'm not gonna paint ever again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've done it for 5 years now.
So are you just the lore kind of guy, or play the game kind of guy, or what?
The best thing to do is whatever you're painting, what faction, put on a lore video. Because then while you're painting it, you're learning like about the gun, you're learning about the history, and you're like, yeah, that's great.
That's so sick.
But the problem is, the longer you're in the hobby, you switch. Because I used to be all about different alien races.
Right.
Now into Space Marines. You know,
Right.
so you end up with loads of different armies. I've lost count how many miniatures I've painted. But yeah, again, it's up to you whether you want really good quality stuff, you want an airbrush, or if you want slap chop, which is basically just like dry brushing everything and getting it to a good standard.
So have you played Warhammer?
I played one game of this series so far of 10th edition, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying, right?
I played,
So wait, let me.
I played the one that just came out recently. That was really fun. I enjoyed that one.
the
No,
video-
that's a
video
video
game.
game. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
the video
something
game.
different.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
We're talking about the board game.
Oh, no.
So
Yeah.
over the years, the models don't change. Maybe new ones come out, but the rules change, and the size of the board change.
Oh, so it's like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's like a new thing comes in.
They add new shit in.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, like D&D, you can do it all online. You can see all the rules and stuff.
Yeah.
Games Workshop, they've got an app now, which you can kind of do, but it's still paid for. But there are other things out there you can find the rules.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I've only had one game. I was really into 9th, I think it was. But to learn all the rules, I just like painting.
I would love to get into it. It seems like so fucking fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, when you're playing a game against like your mate or whatever, you're just having a good time.
Yeah, it just seems like a steep learning curve to get into, but I feel once you're in, you're in.
Just start with what looks cool.
Right.
Paint that, and then slowly build out from there.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's the best thing. Whatever you think looks cool, you don't get into the meta and like, oh, what's the best thing to play?
Yeah.
Or even if it's budget, there's certain armies that are horde armies that need hundreds of models, and there's other ones which are
And they're expensive as well, right? They're pretty pricey.
Horde armies are expensive no matter what.
Damn.
Or you can be like Henry Cavill and collect the Custodes, which like one model is like your army basically.
Right.
You know, and you can do it that way. So depending on budget, free time, all this different jazz. But yeah, get it, build it, paint it, play it, do it.
Well,
man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
no,
was a
thank you so
pleasure
much for
talking with
having
you.
me.
This
such a
was
fun
so much fun.
Yeah, this
Been
was such a
brilliant.
fun episode, and glad to have you on because we would never have organically talked about half the
Dinosaurs.
shit
No.
we talked about here.
Dinosaurs.
And I
Legit.
actually learned a lot from this.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if any of these dinosaurs are real that you told me today.
Maybe I've just lied.
You could have lied. I would not be able to tell.
Gigachatosaurus is a real thing.
Big Dongsaurus.
Big
I-
Dongsaurus.
You saw it.
No, it's
my favorite.
I did see it. I saw that rock actually. Looks something like it.
But hey, look at all these patrons though. I'm sure they all love dinosaurs. Hey, let us know in the comments. What's your favorite dinosaur? James, point to a patron on the screen right now. Who's your favorite?
That
Nice.
guy likes Parasaurolophus.
And don't forget to
I
go
can't even
check
pronounce that.
Don't forget to go check out James's channel as well.
Absolutely.
yes.
Yes.
The Gaming Beaver, that's me.
Go check it out if you want more dinosaur goodness. But hey, if you want to go support the show, and by the way, check out weekly Patreon exclusive content. We have a brand new one that you guys can go check out right after this episode. Mudan, play a clip of that.
If I took Connor out, it would have gone to Joey and he would have had the power.
Yeah.
Shit. All right. Well,
Good luck, Joey.
me.
You like Joey?
You know what? I'm a gamer. Fuck. Damn it. Well, so much for that.
That looks
All
so
right.
funny.
Oh
Nah.
no.
Oh no.
See, Connor.
Damn.
See, Connor. Look. I know this is a blank.
But if you want to watch that and support the show in the process, then head on over to patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us some memes on the subreddit. If you had our face, listen to us on Spotify. And again, go check out The Gaming Beaver. Links in the description.
And
All right.
I exist.
Thanks for coming on, man.
No, thank you so much. It's been great
Hell yeah.
to educate some dinosaurs.
An absolute pleasure.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.